It became then the Jules Rimet Trophy. It went on several adventures during its life, hidden in a shoebox during the Second World War to prevent theft from the Nazis, to famously being stolen in 1966 in England, only to be found by Pickles the dog. Brazil won the right to keep the Jules Rimet Trophy permanently in 1970 after winning it 3 times. There'd be more drama, though, with the trophy again stolen in 1983 in Rio de Janeiro. It's believed to have been melted down. So back to 1970 and the creation of the current and iconic 18-carat gold trophy. Standing at 36.8 centimetres tall with a base made up of 2 layers of green malachite, it's been the World Cup as we know it since the 1974 tournament. But is that the trophy that the winners get to keep? The answer is no. The original gold trophy remains with FIFA and is only displayed at special events. World Cup winners have to settle for a bronze gold-plated replica. The base of the current original has enough space to engrave the names of the winners up to and including the 2038 World Cup. So could we therefore be in for a new trophy in the coming years?
I think it's Charlie, right?
Oh, God.
It's 2 a.m. in Los Angeles, right? I am in Los Angeles, and so whenever you say that, you feel quite... It's impossible not to sound like a bit of a twit, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
What is it about LA, do you think, that makes people sound like a twit?
I don't know.
If you said, I am in Massachusetts, if you're in Boston or something, you know.
Yeah, maybe.
You'd be like, you'd sound pretty cool, wouldn't you? You'd sound like, well, I'm sort of a cool traveller guy. But it sounds like you've only ever heard of one place in America.
Do you know what it means? I think it sounds cool, but I think it sounds like you're trying to be cool.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
And as I know, Max, you are never, ever trying to be cool. You are just cool.
It's effortless for me.
Effortless cool. Max Rushton, he makes no effort. That's what
I make no effort.
That's what people say.
There was a moment when I got muddled up with whoever sang at the Super Bowl, and I called Bad Bunny Funny Boy. But I was still cool when I did it.
That was cool, wasn't it?
I wasn't like a middle-aged man who didn't have his finger on the pulse. Funny Boy.
Funny Boy would be a good name for you, Max. Be good, like
do you think so?
Good DJ name. DJ Funny Boy.
I could be. I think it's more my hip hop featuring Funny Boy. I could collab on a number of hip hop. Now I'm in LA. I might as well. Might as well either go.
What is this music?
I'm gonna make a movie. I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to do?
Is it because you're in LA? They put DVD hold music on. Is this what it is? Just like
what I'm trying to do is just pad over it until somebody changes it. If that's the way.
Is that what you're trying to do?
We can't complain about it because it makes no difference. We've complained so many times. I don't know if anyone's like, wello.
Hang on a minute. It's too.
Hang on a second.
I tell you what, it's too hot here for this music.
I'm aware it's hot. I'm aware how hot it is. People.
I know everyone's saying it's hot, but Max, I don't think you understand it is so hot.
Yeah. And do you know where I normally live doesn't ever get hot.
No.
So I can't.
I think it's hotter than there.
I can't conceive of it. Here we go. Morning, everybody. Welcome to the world's biggest sports radio station. It's talkSPORT. My name is Max Rushton. Alongside me, Charlie Bacon. Charlie, this is just any old war.
This is the double award-winning, award-retired warm-up, Max, on Saturday, the 27th of June, 2026, and at 22 o'clock, it's Panama v England in the 2026 World Cup. It's live on talkSPORT, presented by the best in the business. Forget about it. The best. Who we got? Who's we got? That's the best. We got Adrian Durham. Well, he's the best. Max is making a movie. Get the best. We got Adrian Durham. Commentary from Jim, Torquay United Proudfoot, and former England captain Stuart Psycho Pierce, the OB producer. Oh, it's Declan McCarthy. Go get it! And then at 22 o'clock, it's Croatia v Ghana in the 2026 World Cup. It's live on talkSPORT 2. Commentary from Mark Willie Wilson and former England defender Mickey Gray, the OB producer. Oh, it's Mark Wilson. Turn around and say goodbye. Tell them, baby, that never die. Don't you know? Don't you know? Things will go your way. Hold on for one more day. Hold on for one more day. Go get it. And then North 30. It's Colombia v Portugal in the 2026 World Cup. It's on talkSPORT. Commentary from Nigel Adderley and former Chelsea defender Scott Minto, the OB producer. Oh, it's Nigel Adderley. Go get it! And then at North 30, it's the Congo versus Uzbekistan in the 2026 World Cup. It's on the talkSPORT app. Commentary from Mike Sewell and former England under-21 midfielder Darren Ambrose, the OB producer. Oh, it's Mikey Sewell. Peggy Sue. I know why I'm Mikey. I love you, Mikey Sue. Go get it! And then at North 3 o'clock, it's Jordan v Argentina in the 2026 World Cup. It's live on talkSPORT, presented by Will Gavin. Commentary from Kevin, the Hatchard, and former England women's striker Tash Dowie, the OB producer. Oh, it's Kev Hatchard. Hatchard, cats and dogs. He painted into a lump, but a little lump, pum pum. And he painted a shanty to tum, like a little lump. Painted Hatchard men and Hatchard cats and dogs. Go get it! And then at 03 o'clock, it's Algeria v Austria in the 2026 World Cup. It's on talkSPORT. Commentary from Ian, the Duke of Knutsford-Danta, and former Arsenal winger Perry, the Lab Rat Groves, the OB producer. Oh, it's Ian, the Duke of Knutsford-Danta. Woo! These are crazy. Go get it! It's Big Ticket Live! World Cup action you can't afford to miss.
Shawnee's been in touch. Hi, Shawnee.
Hi, Shawnee. Good morning, Shawnee.
Now, Max singing quietly as if the Bee Gees and a mouse had a baby. Is it hot, Charlie?
You do sound quieter than usual. You sound a bit more scared than usual. Are you scared of Barry waking up?
I'm scared. I think what happens is, so this is Saturday, and then we do tomorrow as well.
Oh yeah. Oh really? Thanks.
I start quiet.
I wondered what we did.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Oh, that's how it works. All right, yeah.
But I start quiet and I build up. I get a bit more confident.
Okay.
I think it's fine to whisper to you and the listeners. When a guest comes on, I sort of feel I need to speak. So maybe I could be a bit, just like to test the water, and then just check how loud I'm. But you know how I know it's hot. I Zoomed my parents yesterday.
Yeah.
And they were hot.
Yeah,
and they had a fan, so my mum's hair was bellowing like an 80s
lovely.
Pop video. It was
Lovely.
really.
She's like Bonnie Tyler. Your mum's Bonnie Tyler.
My mum is Bonnie Tyler. That's how hot it is.
She's holding out for a hero, Max. That's what she's.
But what it means is, lots of people will just be restless at night and will listen to Algeria, Austria.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
which is an interesting game because if you come second in that group, then you play Spain, so Austria are second. If they lose to Algeria, they don't play Spain. Now, Algeria have to get a point because their goal difference is -2 and, the third place, the annoying thing about the third place thing. But there could be a scenario where it is worth staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning tomorrow to listen to Austria because Austria might be trying to lose. And that is, I would say, a bit of a flaw in this World Cup setup.
That's a flaw in the
could
concept,
be really fun if Marko Arnautovic is just banging in own goal after own goal after own goal.
So if they do go 1-0 down like within 5 minutes and then just
shut up shop.
Yeah, they've not thought this through, have they?
They haven't. I don't know if didn't they muddled it?
The good people at FIFA have not thought this through. I tell you what, though, it got shut down on the WhatsApp group when we were discussing the show.
The World Cup? Did we have that power? I think, do you know what, Charlie? I think, given we've come this far, I think it would be quite controversial if us in the WhatsApp group, we decided actually
to shut it down.
Carry on the World Cup.
Well, my point was it's not actually worth us talking about it anymore. So I don't know what we're going to do on talkSPORT because France are going to win it. No one's going to beat France.
No.
Who's going to beat France? No one's going to beat France.
It's a very good question. Because
who could beat France? Give me 4 teams that could beat France.
Spain.
Not in this World Cup. They haven't turned up yet.
They haven't turned up yet. I agree with you. Who else could beat France? Brazil on a very lucky day. Argentina could just about beat France. England. Could England beat France? Do you know what's been nice about being away, Charlie? I haven't been able to listen to the panic.
24 hours of panic. As soon as there's a 0-0 with Ghana and we're still in the group and top of the group. No, panic! Bring everyone home!
I haven't panicked, but I've seen a few clips of people panicking and saying, do you know what? If we're going to give Thomas Tuchel credit for the opening game, we have to absolutely hammer him for this game. That's how it works. I gave you credit last week, Thomas. Yeah. So this week, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, Thomas Tuchel.
It's very bad parenting, that, Max. You have to be consistent with the parenting with Thomas Tuchel.
Right. He's not going to understand, is he?
He's going to be like, well, which one is right? I don't know which one is right now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think it is, Max? I think men are too emotional for football.
I think you're right. Should we ban men from football?
Men should be banned from talking about football.
Well, the thing I thought is you should only be able to phone up a phone in, but you're not allowed to talk about the team you support because you're too invested.
Yeah, sure, you are emotionally invested. Yeah, exactly.
It's the objective phone in. So the new talkSPORT rules are, and even if the presenters on the show that you're listening to say you can call up, say after England-Panama, if you're an England fan.
Yeah.
Actually, the rules are you're not allowed to ring up anymore. So we're only going to take calls from German fans, Panama fans.
Okay, right.
Yeah, US fans, Canada fans, that's fine. But it's just what we want is we want a bit more objectivity. And so if you are emotionally invested, I'm no longer going to talk about Cambridge United or Tottenham. Charlie's not going to talk about Torquay.
Well, no, if I don't do that, Max, I haven't got anything else.
No, well, I know that, but it's okay.
That's all I've got.
All right.
All I've got is my lived experience.
I could do the whole show with them. Have you heard? I don't know if you've heard. There's a panda that does a bit with Paul.
Oh yeah, he's
Peng.
Peng the panda.
He's good. I should watch you back, Charlie. If I were you.
You think?
Yeah, I'd watch you back.
He's funny. He does good jokes.
He's up for your gigs.
He does good jokes.
Guy.
He did one joke this week that got dumped.
Did it?
So that was a shame.
Oh, wow.
He did a joke about doing Misfits.
You can't repeat the joke, can you?
Misfits boxing with Maureen from driving school.
Okay.
And it was not allowed. It was not allowed to go out, apparently.
Did Peng get hauled over the coals?
No, I didn't find out about it until someone told me. No, someone told me afterwards. We had to dump Peng. I was in the know at the time. But yeah, anyway, you can see Peng on Instagram if you want to see him, but not sure how popular. I mean, some people seem to like him, but you know.
Someone said that you called Darren Ambrose Darren Ambrose.
Oh, that's nice.
Footballer sports.
I mean, he is an Umbro footballer in my head, Darren Ambrose.
Really is,
you know, so we'll take those all day long. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's very good.
8:89.
Yeah.
I'm stuck.
Darren
I'm stuck now. I'm stuck on Adidas and I can't move on. It's Max and Charlie with you on the warm. Nikki Bandini, football expert, Italian football expert, normally touted us, but she knows everything. She'll join us and we'll do some World Cup stuff in just a second.
What have you made of Stevie Clarke? He's come under the spotlight for how he's handled the journalists. He's come under the spotlight how he's set up Scotland, certainly in the second game as well. And some people have even questioned why he's had his term there extended before this World Cup. What do you make of that?
Well, Stevie Clarke, I played against him, and I know him, and he's not a Jose, you know. He's a very quiet guy, to be honest. And you have to look at what he's achieved as Scotland manager. It's brilliant, absolutely up there with the best. So. You know, people have got to realise in the press, I know the press getting on this, you know, this storm of the fans and the Tartan Army and we party and all that, but the press have got to realise, you know, where our players play, who they play for in the big league and the World League, and we've done well to get there. We could have qualified, and I don't think we will. I think Steve Clarke's been frank and he's been honest, and I think he's right. There's too many permutations against us. Which is going to, again, we're going to be crying losers, you know, oh, if only. I had it in 82. You know, we should have beaten Russia in the final game. We drew 2-2 because we conceded 2 goals against New Zealand first game, 15th of June. So we knew it was going to be tough. And that was a side with Souness, Hansen, Dalglish, Strachan, etc. You know, it was a John Robertson. Great side. It's not easy when you get the big league. And, you know, the final stages, and I'm afraid we're just going to be, once again, we're just going to fall short. But it's a shame because the punters are brilliant. But I think the press have got to look at themselves and say, we're a small nation, we maybe have underachieved again. But thinking about it, looking at what Steve Clarke's done, he's not flamboyant, he's not charismatic, excuse me. He's not giving it, you know, he doesn't like doing press conferences. It's quite simple. He's a quiet.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
not as good as ours, is it?
It's not as good as our one, is it?
Ours.
So, hopefully we haven't. Hopefully we've still got that remix.
I think you heard ours, Max. You heard ours. Well, that's a good idea. I'll pretend I came up with that.
Yeah, I think so. What we should do is put our stuff on the internet.
Imagine if any of our stuff got clipped out and put on the internet.
I don't know. Maybe that bit where I got annoyed at Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah,
I've got Thomas Tuchel. He deserves. It's only fair.
The bad parenting of Thomas Tuchel is really...
Come on, to play Ecuador. Here we go.
After review, number 10, Paraguay, cover his mouth. Decision is red card.
Yeah, it's more atmospheric. Our one's better.
Yeah,
it's more atmospheric. That other one's rubbish.
You are listening to talkSPORT.
The Thieves
Charlie.
The Thieves
with you until
remix.
Kappa Booba Diop, says Wayne.
Oh, that's good.
Amadou Diadora, Colin.
Oh, good one, Colin.
Nike Butt, Mr. Paul. Jeremy Adidassier from Ross. Fila Foden, says producer Reese. Manuel Neuer Balance. Really nice stuff there from Wayne. Anyway, let's bring in broadcaster and journalist Nikki Bandini, do some World Cup stuff. Hey, Nikki, you okay?
Hey, Nikki.
Morning.
It's hot, isn't it? It's hot. It's hot. Charlie keeps telling me it's hot. Do you want to talk about how hot it is?
It's quite hot. I actually, I feel scummy for admitting it, but in the May heat wave, I couldn't sleep for like 3 days. I bought a little air conditioning unit, so my house is less bad than some other places are. But I feel bad for being one of those people who did that. Yeah. I don't know why. Guilt.
When there was that show I did on a Sunday in my shed in Australia, when it got to 40 degrees, and I was doing the show with Barry, and it did feel like it was Apollo 13. I was re-entering the Earth's atmosphere, and the whole place was shaking. And I put like bowls of ice just around to make it cooler, and it just meant I just had lots of water around electricity. And eventually I went off air, which was funny for everyone except for Baz. Should we start with Cape Verde? Because I'm trying to work out how, like, it's such a brilliant achievement, but I don't want to patronise them. Like, they qualified above Cameroon. Like, they are no mugs. It's not like just some random set of footballers arrived and just happened to be good at the World Cup. They're really good. Like, in this game, they didn't need to win, and Saudi Arabia did. Saudi Arabia were garbage, but Cape Verde were great again.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things we all have to put our hands up sometimes to acknowledge we can't know everything, right? I think there's this extraordinary pressure in this age of social media everywhere and constant being on that every football journalist needs to know about everything in all of world football. And we can't cover European football well and African football and Saudi football and know all of these individuals as well as we would the leagues we cover the most. So, of course, there are some gaps. And, of course, I haven't watched Cabo Verde play before this World Cup.
Outrageous, Nikki. Absolutely.
What are you even doing on this show, Nikki?
Right. And I think that's the joy of the World Cup, though, isn't it? Because I remember when I was a kid, one of the things that was so exciting about watching my team's Arsenal, everyone knows that. My team is in Europe, is you get to see players you had no idea who they were. You know, you're off playing a Dense or someone, you think, who are all these players? And I think within the European game, again, maybe this is because it's my job, and so obviously I do watch a lot of European football. You've lost that a bit. Even Bordeaux this year. I mean, there was some names in Bordeaux, obviously, but it's not as much of a shock. You recognise faces. You've seen this team beating teams like Roma before, so they've not come out of nowhere. Whereas, these teams you don't get to watch all the time, when they show up as Cabo Verde have, it's thrilling. And I do think it's worth saying, listen, even though, yes, for sure, I'm certain people who've been watching every AFCON and in every African qualifier know this team knew it was less of a shock than it's been. I still think we can say when you get an individual like Vozinha, who had, 50 Instagram followers and now has millions, it's still not actually like, oh, everyone knew this was going to happen.
But that's one of the joys of the World Cup, isn't it? You know, Schillaci, Roger Miller, you know, we're putting Vozinha in that group now, Nikki.
He's going to be one of those names that's forever remembered in the World Cup, isn't he? That's going to be one of those names that, for no other reason than the World Cup, people all over the world now know him, follow him. I have no idea what he's going to do with this newfound social media fame. If he's going to do something with
Strictly, I expect something like that.
I mean, he'll probably get asked, won't he? Honestly, you're laughing about it, but can you not imagine some producer giving that a go?
Yeah. I imagine a few ads and a podcast, and then that'll be that.
Maybe.
You never know.
That's a bit harsh on Vozinha, isn't it? I mean, but it was I mean, but Pico Lopez as well. I mean, everyone knows his story now and being found on LinkedIn. But he's such a good centre-back. They've got Argentina next. I just can't wait for him to just have Messi in his pocket, Nikki. I think it'll be so amazing.
Well, there's a real chance that this next game is the one that's too far and they get beaten quite heavily, isn't there? I mean, even if we go to the Spain game, there was a lot of chance in that game, and that's why we all fell in love with Virginia, because he was making all these saves and he was in the middle of it. Actually, I thought in this game against Saudi, if anything, the one cross I can remember, he sort of flapped it a little bit. So there's going to be a collision with reality at some point, and it might not be the Argentina game. You don't know; something might happen, but you sort of imagine with the tournament that Messi's having, that it's going to be a loss, and the question is whether or not it's one of those losses that feels like it's a heroic battling to the end, or is it going to be a blowout?
We mentioned Saudi being awful. Uruguay they're so annoying, aren't they? They're just like one pass away from it, one control away, and then by the end they just go full Uruguay, just kick people and go, right, that's it, see you later. They were just so frustrating this tournament.
Yeah, and it sounds like things weren't happy in the camp, right? You had talk of players going to Bielsa and saying, basically, we're not doing your tactics. We don't think they'll work against Spain. I think it was Valverde, wasn't it? Was what was reported. So clearly there's been tension behind the scenes, and I think that's very often the case when teams disappoint at a World Cup. I think the amount of times you see a country you expect more from not have a great World Cup, and then if you either get the chance to talk to some players even years later, or if you just see things that come out in the national press from that country, there's often a sense of they weren't really all on the same page. Because I always think it's a bit people underestimate about a World Cup, and it's certainly a thing I've heard from players directly. They've all got to live together. They've all got to put up with each other. They've all got to want to do it together. And I've heard players say to me outright, do you know, I was at a World Cup and all I wanted was to be with my family who were off enjoying this amazing holiday in Brazil. And I wasn't having a good time with my teammates. And I don't know if that's true all the way with Uruguay, but I think this report of Valverde basically saying to Bielsa, you're wrong and we're going to not do what you say, that doesn't paint a picture of a happy camp, does it?
And then the way Bielsa plays and runs his teams as well, that if everyone's not on board, then it doesn't work, does it? So an unhappy marriage.
Yeah. What did you make of Spain, Nikki?
It was okay. I mean, they did what they needed to, didn't they? And I think that it feels a bit underwhelming because in the same day you've got France showing up and smashing Norway. And that game's its own story because Norway changed 10 players. But you kind of were yearning for either Uruguay to show up and make a great game of it, or if they're not going to do that, you want Spain to show us that they're just so good and they can win the tournament. And it doesn't feel like they've done that. But at the same time, I'm really wary of big conclusions of the group stage, because how many World Cup winners have looked kind of mediocre in the group stages and then gone on to turn it up? So clearly Yamal came into the tournament not fit. He's getting there, and they did what they needed to do in this game.
Nikki Bandini with me and Charlie on talkSPORT. Stay where we are, Nikki, if that's okay. Got another bit to do. Me and Charlie got loads of bits. We're here till 1. It's talkSPORT, and we'll chat more to Nikki Bandini in just a second.
Benty has been terrified all week about the Ghanaian witch doctor he slagged off.
No, he did not.
Supposedly putting a curse on Harry Kane and England's #9, subsequently missing a sitter. Now, thankfully, the witch doctor, of course, lifted the curse.
It's funny.
Right. Now, there was a report in The Sun that you, Emmanuel, were cursed by a witch doctor.
It's Senegal.
Ignored it
2002.
And got injured.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, before the World Cup in 2002. No, after the World Cup, actually, because we went out very quickly, during the World Cup in Asia. And when I came back, I was in holidays in south of France, and I had a friend, he was selling watches, on the beach, and he was expecting me. He was waiting for me for days, and then when he saw me, he came to me straight away, and he said, "I'm so happy to see you because I have something important to tell you." And I said, "Well, what is it?" And he said, "You have to be very careful because you have how can I say that? A curse, yeah, on you, and you have to follow exactly what I'm going to tell you." And I said, "What is it?" He said, "You have to go in Africa and you have to buy a cow and you have to kill it, and you have to follow."
Bit detailed and extreme, that one.
Yeah, but I said, "Listen, I understand, and I really appreciate that, but this is your traditions, and I'm not into it, so I won't do it." And 6 months later, I had to stop. But is it coincidental link? I won't say that.
Oh, so what happened to you? You got injured?
Yeah. And
they
cut my leg in 2 parts, so I had to stop playing football.
Did you get injured kicking a cow?
No.
Hold on. What part you got injured? Was it the calf?
No, that's my knee, the right knee. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You don't believe in any of that?
No, yes, I believe in it.
Are you amazed that Benny slagged him off?
No, I believe in numbers. I believe in sign, runs. I think you have to be...
okay.
Is it superstitions? I have no idea, but...
Are you superstitious?
No, yes, I am.
Okay.
So Geoff Hurst is a name that's synonymous with the World Cup, especially in England. That hat-trick at Wembley in 1966, the stuff of legend. But did you know the tables turned 4 years later when a dodgy goal decision cost him and England another shot at glory? After 66, Geoff Hurst is a household name. England's main striker, a goal every other game for his country, and even a spot singing on Top of the Pops. It looked a bit different, didn't it? But the 1970 World Cup wouldn't be a cakewalk. Hurst only scores 1 in 3 in the groups, and England finish second, meaning they get a tougher draw for the knockouts. And who's waiting for them in the quarterfinals? West Germany. It's a physical game, and as you can see, Hurst wasn't given much time on the ball. England go 2 up, but the Germans come back, and we're going to extra time. Gerd Müller scores, and seemingly puts Germany in the last 4. Just moments from time, though, Geoff Hurst has the ball in the back of the net. But the referees decided that when Francis Lee cuts in from the right, despite his cross clearly deflecting off a German boot, Hurst is offside, so he disallows it. After that decision went in England's favour 4 years earlier, suddenly they're on the receiving end of a controversial call. England had been one of the favourites, and Hurst never played at the World Cup again. If only we'd had VAR. Ugh, can't believe I just said that.
Matt in Milton Keynes says Gigi Okocha.
That's nice, yeah.
Philly Sharp says Will in Sheffield. Equestrian Brewster. Gigi Donnarumma, says Mark. Jurgen Klipp-Klopp.
Jurgen Klipp-Klopp's lovely.
Says Steve. Okay, that one's done. Apologies, lads. I only just started listening. Had a busy delivery. What have I missed? The Sizzler.
You've missed Max hoovering up the joy.
Yeah. Paul Furlong says, right. Nicky Bandini with us as well. And what did you, France beat Norway? I mean, it was interesting, Nicky, wasn't it? It was all touted. It was Mbappe versus Haaland. And then Norway went, actually, no. And by all accounts, the fans, there's been a bit of uproar in Norway because I think, especially the fans who paid a load of money. Imagine you pay so much money to get to a game. And you pay so much money for a ticket and the travel, and then the team sheet comes out and you're like, who are they? Who's that? But I mean, I don't think it's a bad choice by Solbakken to pick a reserve side for that game.
Yeah, it's a really hard one to know what's right, isn't it? I feel like when you look at the two paths the teams could take through the tournament, depending on whether or not they finish first or second, it's not like one looks much better than the other. So that impetus to need to win the game to get a better second round draw wasn't there. I do feel like Norway have taken a very deliberate no, we're just the underdogs line at this tournament. You could hear it in the comments before this game, even before we knew that they weren't going to start their entire starting 11, basically. Haaland and Solbakken were basically both saying, oh, listen, games against France, that's not what we're here for. We're not here to win this thing. We're just very happy to have got through the group. And I understand all of that, and I think placing yourself as the underdog has a certain value. I really think this Norway team was capable of bloodying France's nose, and the trade-off for saving some energy in the legs, which is real. Remember, this tournament is a game longer than World Cups normally are as well. But I do wonder if there could have been some sort of trade-off in terms of, if you get a result against France, how much that gives you confidence to go forward and view yourselves differently. But I understand both sides of it. And look, I think trying to second-guess Solbakken on this when he's been managing them so successfully is a fool's errand for sure.
Other game in this one, I don't know if you've seen one of the goals in the Senegal-Iraq game had any goal where it's just booted in. It makes me think of Mexico '86. I think it was Pat Gay, his second one. He just went, "I'll have it," and just absolutely belted this thing. It gave me so much joy.
I have to admit, off the top of my head, I'm certain I saw it because it was on at the time when it wasn't on the middle of the night, so I actually did see it. But they're all blurring to one a little bit at the moment.
That is fair. That's fair. Did anyone see? Because I haven't seen Belgium yet. Has anyone seen the Belgium highlights? Anyone got anything on Belgium?
No. Highlights
okay.
No.
That's okay. No,
it's good that it won 5-1, isn't it? Sad for Chris Wood and Woodwatch that he didn't score. That's all I've got
in that first game. But I suppose that's the interesting thing for you. You know, it is hard. You know, when you're doing the Go Get It, Charlie, you see these games and I wonder about World Cup fever and where we're at with it. Because these third games, Nicky, have been a bit flat because it's a weird setup that we're not used to, and there are lots of games that don't really matter. I don't know if that's affected kind of World Cup starts and everyone's like amazing, and now we're all a bit like, oh, this is actually it's like going for a run, like the first 10 steps, like, oh, this is good, and you're like, actually this really is quite, got to pace myself.
I like that analogy, although recently I haven't got as far as doing the first 10 steps, so I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I understand what you mean. It feels really confusing. The third place thing inevitably feels really confusing. I hate that it's not just that you don't know who's through, but you don't know where everyone's ending up on the bracket. So like you're trying to look at your bracket and it's like third place team from group A or F or I or Q, I don't know, like they go on forever. And it feels like that makes it a bit less dramatic, makes it feel a little bit less tension in these games. There's only a few of them where it's really clear cut and you can see that winning or losing means something. And somehow I think what's made it even worse somehow is because they have that head-to-head rule as well as the first tiebreaker. You know, some teams are out regardless. So for instance, Turkey in that last game, when they finally showed up 2 games late, it didn't matter. So I think it's not been perfect. And I think everyone's, I talked to you, Max, on the Guardian podcast just the other day about the fact that I think there's a major flaw. It's a great podcast. So a major flaw in the system is that Scotland don't have the information that the teams playing last do. So they don't know what result they need, whereas teams playing last do. So I think there's some real problems with it. And I think the trade-off is always going to be Yes, but do you weigh that higher, or do you weigh the fact that we've had some really great games in this group stage from teams who might not have made it if it was a 36-team World Cup?
Do you think if Scotland had known, they wouldn't have kept just passing the ball to Vinicius? Do you think that would have been...
That felt a mistake. That did feel a mistake. Have Scotland just had to hang around out there?
Yeah.
Until it's... I mean, what a miserable few days. That is just sort of waiting to be sent home, Am I allowed to go home yet,
I actually wonder if it gets easier, like the closer we've got to it, because now it seems really unlikely that they're staying, right? They need some pretty unlikely results. I wonder if at this point it's almost just, okay, now we're on holiday with our families. Like, you hope their families are there and they just have a nice time. But I've been thinking that as well. With it being first, you kind of have to get up the next day and go to training, not knowing if you're ever playing another game together in that team.
Well, it's like, Hull finding out that they're suddenly in the Championship playoff final. With who did Hull play? Middlesbrough, Middlesbrough suddenly finding out, that isn't it. I think I'm impressed with the African teams, Nikki, and a lot have gone through to the last 32. And I don't know if that's anything to do with the fact that the AFCON was pretty recently, so they're all together as a team and sort of know what they're doing, have come in, hit the ground running.
Yeah, I suppose it's been a mixed bag because, for instance, Senegal, I think a lot of us were looking at and thinking, well, here's a chance to really show that you mean business playing in this group with France and Norway. And they sort of didn't, with losing both of those games. And sure, they've gone and hammered Iraq in the final game, and that should get them through because of the goal difference. But that's one that I was maybe expecting a bit more from. I think it's normal, isn't it? It's first of all because it's a short format and you've got teams coming in with different levels of preparedness. But the fact that you've got the champions or not champions, Senegal perhaps not showing up as strongly, but then some of the teams that we didn't have as much on our radar, like Cabo Verde, has certainly made it an interesting and an unpredictable watch.
My microphone was off, which is that is lazy when you're doing a show. I was going to say, you're an Italy fan, more than an England fan, I think, Nikki, but does it transfer if Italy aren't there? Are you panicking about England, or are you just kind of standing there and being quite objective about it?
Listen, the Italy-England thing, it's all instinctive, isn't it? When you've got family ties with countries, you feel what you feel. And I've always said that. It's just since the first World Cup, when I was told to pick a side, I picked Italy, and it's always felt that way. Completely. But I'm never not happy to see England winning, because I'm also half English. It doesn't reduce that. Obviously, my family is as much English as Italian, and I actually grew up here. So I'm cheering for them. I do kind of get what you mean, though, Max, because I do think I feel less anxiety with the England games. I think it's more like a happy thing when they win, and I don't necessarily feel as downtrodden when they lose. But that might be because Italy are not just losing a little bit, they're losing all the time at the moment. So it's quite easy to feel downtrodden about the Italian national team.
Yeah. So Panama today, should be fine. But I guess the point is being able to beat a low block is important in qualifying and in these group games, but they're already through. Being able to beat a low block isn't how you win the World Cup, is it, Nikki?
Yes and no. You never know how a game's going to turn out in the knockout stage. You might end up with a team that gets a player sent off and is trying to force into playing that game against you. But no, they are very different games in the group stage to the ones you're going to play in the knockouts. And I think that England are probably better equipped for the open games than they are for the breaking down low block. But listen, I don't think, on the one hand, it may not matter. First, second may not matter, as we've established in terms of who you go on to play. But I don't think England should have problems beating Panama. I think England are a markedly better team, and I think they have plenty of players who play on teams such as Harry Kane, who are used to seeing teams desperately try to bunker against them every single game, and pretty adept at breaking those down.
Lovely stuff, Nikki. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Nikki.
Anytime.
Nikki Bandini there. It's Max and Charlie with you on the warm-up until 1
o'clock. Yeah, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Nathan Baines, Robbie Fowler.
Okay, yeah.
Philly Foden says that in Glasgow. Do you know what we're doing next, Charlie?
What are we doing next?
We're doing what about all that weather?
Good news. So much weather. With no John Ketley, unfortunately.
No Ketley.
No, we're going no weather professional.
That's
what
what
about
we do.
this weather we're having?
Do you know what we've done, Charlie? We've just done our own research, haven't we? So we know the weather now. We don't need weather. We don't need weather people. They're trying to tell us that it's hotter. It's not hotter. Don't be ridiculous. I've read the internet. I know what weather's happening. Anyway, Nigel Adley will do everything as we play. What about all this weather we're having in just a second?
Manchester City have agreed a £116 million deal to sign Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest. The fee, as you might have guessed, is the most ever paid for a British player and represents a new record for Manchester City. He's 23, Anderson, and has now been given permission to undertake a medical right here in New York today, with the deal subject to the finalising of personal terms. You would think that'll get done quick style. Alex, Elliot Anderson, this is a remarkable rise, isn't it?
Certainly is, when you think that he went from Newcastle to Forest for a relatively modest sum. I know Eddie Howe at the time didn't particularly want to cash in, but obviously they had issues with PSR.
Yep.
It's interesting, the figures. City side are saying 116 million. Forest side are saying actually it's nearer to 130 million. Either way, it's a record, as you say, for a British player, potentially a Premier League record fee, eclipsing what Liverpool paid for Alexander Isak this time last year. I was speaking to a couple of ex-players at the darts last night, and we were pondering, if Elliot Anderson is really a £130 million player, how much would someone like Paul Scholes be worth in the current market? I think he's a terrific player, Elliot Anderson. I'm not sure he's a £130 million player.
Well, sure. He joined Forest, as Alex says, from Newcastle in a £35 million deal in 2023. So, not so long after that, we've now arrived at 116 million.
Well, brilliant business for Forest. If I'm going to my...
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Morning all, it is the one before talkSPORT. Max and Charlie with you until 1. England-Panama, 10 o'clock tonight in the UK. Live commentary, of course, on talkSPORT. We thought Ivan Pony had completed Tours Footballers, but this anonymous text saying, Mr. Edu.
Very nice, very
really
good. Maybe that was from Mr. Ed himself, trying to get himself back in the media.
He finds it hard, a smartphone. It is true. But, really, I need a really big one, doesn't he?
And also, if the blacksmith has recently shod him, then that metal doesn't work on the glass at all.
No, it's
an
not.
absolute nightmare for him.
He actually still uses a Nokia 8210, which was around at about the same time that Mr. Ed was around. So, that works well. It's symbiotic.
Very good.
Do you not remember those episodes when he was just playing Snake?
That was good. Nokia? Maybe that's why it got cancelled in the end. I don't know.
I think it did. This is boring, guys. I'm just watching a horse play Snake. What's going on?
There's no plot here.
Not plot at all. He just goes, yes, really long Snake. But that's different. It is. Let's play What About All This Weather?
Oh, let's play it. What a great game.
Over in America with QuickFit.
US football forecast on talkSPORT with QuickFit, a team selection that everyone would be happy with this summer. QuickFit, drive away happy every time.
Yes, love to Nigel.
All new weatherman. Have you become a meteorologist, Nigel?
I think you'd be good, Nigel, actually.
You're just winging it like people on YouTube, Nigel.
After 3 weeks of working with, thank you very much indeed. After 3 weeks of working with John Ketley, I don't feel there's anything more to learn. And also, as well, basically, you couldn't afford Thomas Schaffenacker, so here I am.
Yeah,
what's happened? Has the Ketley money dropped out? Is that what's happened?
It's not coming to me, I can tell you that.
Someone pulled the Ketley money out.
Someone pulled the Ketley. Where's the Ketley money gone? What's it gone on?
Ketley don't work for free, guys. I'm telling you that.
Is it gone on outfits? Has it gone on football shirts for Jason Cundy? Where's the Ketley money gone? For goodness sake, give us our Ketley money. Anyway, look, I think the weather. I think probably listeners are more interested in the weather. I know these sort of possible rain delays are big. I think, Nigel, people want to know, when's it going to stop being so hot in the UK? It's probably more on people's
Is that what
minds.
they meant when they said it's going to be a hot World Cup, do you think? The really hot World Cup, got to deal with the weather. Do they mean people watching it? Because so far, I don't think the weather's had that much to play in the World Cup, Nigel. Do you?
Well, there's been one weather delay, hasn't there? There was the French game.
A two-hour break, yeah.
Yeah, the 2-hour break, which obviously was bad. I mean, I know I was talking to people, friends who were at the Dutch game the other night in Kansas, and it absolutely hosed down, and there was not a square inch of roof in that stadium. So everybody got soaked. Our friend and colleague Courtney Sweetman-Kirk was basically commentating on the television under a plastic sheet. Otherwise, she would have been electrocuted. So I think they've got a few issues, and I think it could be similar today in East Rutherford, in the stadium where England are playing Panama. It's going to be 5 o'clock local time, of course, live on talkSPORT at 10 o'clock. They're saying wet with a light breeze, a high of 25 degrees, with rain expected to last throughout the afternoon and into the evening. So if they do get...
Kelly,
really good. Is it nice
back
doing
on
the weather
phone,
forecast? It must be so fun.
It's just reading out, isn't it? It's quite good.
I am literally just reading out, yes. I've heard some people have called me and said,
can you now do it
and
point
don't worry, there won't be.
Point at the wall behind you, Nigel.
I've even got the green screen here ready, yes. I can do my Wincy Willis, you know.
You have to...
Wincy Willis. That would have been a good booking, Wincy Willis.
Get Wincy Willis.
It's the key is the intonation for the last sentence. Yeah. So it is going with rain moving westerly through the day and into the weekend. Back to you. That's what we need. That's the bit you need to get right for the weather. In my experience,
a mild weekend.
Very good.
Oh yes, that's
good. Adley's good.
Oh, we'll do. That's a good.
Hey, Nigel, what's the wettest? Also, what's the wettest you've ever been at a football match? Mine is Plymouth Argyle on boxing.
Football match.
Boxing, yes. On Boxing Day, I can't remember what year, but absolutely got soaked, absolutely drenched to the skin.
I think it was Tranmere Blackpool League Cup tie at night in about October 1988. And I was stood on an open terrace behind the goal, watched Eddie Bishop score the winner, brother of John Bishop.
Go on, Eddie.
1-0 and got absolutely drenched. Yeah, 1-0, got absolutely drenched, and there was literally no escape. When I got home, my mother had a go at me for watching football.
Shame on Mama Abbott.
And now it's your job along
with weather forecast.
Weather person, yeah.
Can we have on the voice notes people just ending the weather forecast and going,
yes, lovely.
Sunny spells moving into the weekend.
Back to you in the studio.
03717 223344 if you'd like to end the weather forecast on a voice note. Anyway, come on, let's play. What about all this weather we're having? Have we got some music for this?
We have some music somewhere, yes.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Weather
okay,
report.
it's me v Charlie.
Okay,
There's no Ketters. It's just me v
The Ketley money's dropped out. It's just...
Here we go. The opening game of the World Cup seems about 4 years ago now. Mexico against South Africa. at the Azteca Stadium in Mexico City. Here's how it sounded on talkSPORT.
Jimenez makes the run into the area, and the glancing header is in. And Raul Jimenez strikes in Mexico's World Cup.
Good comms there.
Who's first, Nigel? Love to, Nigel.
I think you can go first, Charlie.
Oh, thanks so much. 20.
Time was kickoff.
28.
It was a 1 o'clock kickoff in the afternoon.
Yeah, 28.
Good guess. I'm going to have to go 29.
21 degrees.
Oh, 1-0. 1-0.
Freezing in Mexico.
Cold.
Freezing. Ponchos everywhere. Okay, 1-0 Charlie. Well done.
Okay, second one, of course, just like tonight, England's third game in the group 2018 was against Panama. I was at this game. It was in Nizhny Novgorod, and England won 6-1.
Yeah, I've got a memory of this game.
I also have a memory of this. Well done, Charlie.
No, what I mean is I'm a weather memory.
25.
I think higher than that, so I'll say 26.
31 degrees.
Yeah, it was baking hot. I knew it was baking hot.
I knew it was hot. I didn't know it was that hot.
2-0.
2-0. God, you're good at this.
Without Ketley, you're miles away.
You're miles off it. You're miles off it.
Nothing without Kez. Bring us the weather.
Right, let's go to a Winter World Cup
We're
now.
nothing without Ket, the game day warm-up.
Not sure that's the tagline, is it?
Do we have to pause for the dump button now?
Just say no, kids. Here we go.
Third game, 2010 World Cup final, Winter World Cup in South Africa, Netherlands against Spain. It was won in extra time, and here's Jim Proudfoot with the winning goal.
Fabregas through. It's Iniesta to win the World Cup for Spain. That's the goal that surely sees them crowned champions of the world.
18.
Do you want an interesting story on
18.
that World Cup?
You can tell it now. 18.
Me and Mrs. Rushton were both in that bar, but we hadn't met at that time. At a bar in Antigua in Guatemala.
Wowee.
On that final, there's a photo of her with her friend, and I'm in the background. And we didn't meet.
Amazing, isn't that nice?
It's extraordinary. 19.
Unless she was stalking you, Max.
17.
That's the story she told you, and she was just stalking you around the world.
Possible. It is possible. I mean, who wouldn't, eh? 17.
What did you say, Charlie?
18.
14.
Oh, yes, I needed that. 2-1. Come on, here we go.
Okay, another final now. 1994, another very open stadium at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Here's the moment when Roberto Baggio missed that penalty.
Quase, Tafarel. Vai partir. Vai que é sua, Tafarel. Partiu, bateu. Acabou! Acabou!
Amazing photo. Perhaps the most amazing World Cup photo, one of them, just hands on hips. 27.
28.
38 degrees.
Yeah, really. It's so hot. Don't you remember, Max? It was crazy hot. It was a crazy hot World Cup.
Well, I remember John Aldridge, but he wasn't in the final. 38
Like, that was the one that this one's held up against. Like, it was so hot. An unassailable... Oh, no, you can get it spot on and win. Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I can get it spot on. Oh, cool. That's good. The game's still alive.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Ray Houghton was booked for bringing water onto the field during that World Cup as well.
Booked for water on the field.
Let's
stop. Don't hydrate, kids. Right.
1934.
This has been quite a bad advice to kids. It's since Nigel's become the weather person. It's gone.
1934.
1934, the final.
As we know.
Italy actually qualified for World Cups in those days because they hosted it. They beat Czechoslovakia 2-1 in front of 55,000 people in Rome. What was the temperature? Mussolini was watching.
Does that mean it was hot or cold?
He was watching. Okay. Is it you, Charlie, or is it me?
It's me. I'm in the lead, aren't I? So it's me.
Yeah.
What time of day was it, please, Nigel?
It was mid-afternoon, Sunday afternoon in 1934.
It's colder in the old days, as we know.
8. Yeah.
24 degrees.
20. I've got to get direct hit. 27.
40 degrees Celsius.
No! That's the Mussolini effect.
Yes,
exactly.
The trains ran on time and it was really hot.
Hey, thank you, Nigel. Great game.
Nigel,
that was
a brilliant
Weather
host.
Update. All thanks to
guys.
Quick Feet. Quick feet
for a big man.
Quick Feet at Quick Fit. Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.
US football forecast on talkSPORT with QuickFit. Your car's star player you can always rely on this summer. QuickFit. Drive away happy every time.
When you look at Scotland over the 3 games, David, what is your overall assessment and takeaway? I mean, most of us looked at it and felt that Morocco and Brazil would be a reach to get anything from, and that the outcome of the Haitian game would be important and that goals needed to be scored. Criticism is being made of Steve Clarke. I'm not asking you to jump on the bandwagon, but the manner in which Scotland have played, the lack of bravery, the fact that they've been very negative in lots of people's minds, and Steve is a defensive coach. When you hear all those things, what's your assessment of these 3 games and the opportunities that Scotland have either taken or missed?
Yeah. Well, we spoke the other day. I think the biggest word that you're missing here, Simon, is quality. I don't think Scotland have the quality at the moment available to them to compete. I'm not saying that on the odd day that you wouldn't beat one of these teams and get good results, which we did against Denmark, for example, when we get through those games. But I just feel that generally Scotland have been short at that level. We talked about it a few days ago when we were talking about the Haiti game and only winning 1-0. We all felt it was a really good result. Not a really good result, but a good result because we had got 3 points. But you were right.
This might be the most iconic image in English sporting history, the moment Bobby Moore lifted the World Cup. It meant the flag of St George could forever be draped on the Jules Rimet, and Moore would be a hero always, despite the twists and turns of his eventful World Cup career. Bobby Moore went to the World Cup in 1962, but didn't play a single game. A year later, though, he was made England captain, leading the side as they built up to 66. But Moore might never have played in the tournament. He was in a contract dispute with West Ham and was technically a free agent, and an FA rule meant free agents were ineligible to play for England. Sir Ralph Ramsey stepped in and forced West Ham and Moore to sign a deal. Phew. Then, when the final came around, Moore might not have played in that either. According to Sir Geoff Hurst's autobiography, he overheard Sir Ralph discussing the idea of dropping Moore in favour of Norman Hunter to help deal with the German attack. But he stuck with Moore and didn't live to regret it. 4 years later, Moore was shrouded in controversy. On a pre-tournament team trip to Colombia, he was arrested, accused of stealing a bracelet from a gift shop, and placed under house arrest for 4 days. Perhaps the most famous match of that tournament was England's group game against Brazil, in which he made what's still described as the perfect tackle. It's so beautiful. After the game, another iconic image. The quarter-final defeat to West Germany would be his last World Cup match. England failed to qualify in '74 and Moore stepped away, leaving the most incredible legacy. He was made an inaugural inductee to the English Football Hall of Fame in 2002, and in 2007 this statue was unveiled of Moore outside the new Wembley Stadium. It was described as the finishing touch.
Dembele, twisting, turning, shooting, scoring! Lovely feet, too quick for Norway, the shot too good for the goalkeeper. Norway 0, France 1. What a beautiful goal. Dembele on the edge of the day. Oh, he's done it again! A glorious goal! Delightful from Dembele! Norway 0, France 2. Here come Norway straight away, and they make it 2-1. Who would have thought it? Tello Asgard. Norway 1, France 2. Dembele thinks about the curling shot. He gets it away and gets his hat-trick. Stand up and applaud. Ousmane Dembele with a World Cup hat-trick.
That finish is just absolutely fantastic.
Here goes Strand Larsen, hands on hips, right-footed, stuttered run-up, saved by Magnon. Away to the left-hand side, delivers in high, there is the header in. It's another goal for France. It's Desiree Doué. Norway 1, France 4. The last few moments of the game, which is now over. France win Group I.
Watch out the other teams who have ambitions for this trophy, because this is some team.
Yeah, it's over, Max.
Yeah, big win for France. We'll talk to French football expert Eric Bielderman in just a second. Before that, let's go to Trent Bridge. Sam Allard, disappointing start for England. Hello.
Hello, Sam. Are you there? Sam,
it's nice
Allard.
Hearing the little background chat.
Sam, shall I tell you what it is? It's an LBW decision, Max. They've
reviewed it?
No, they're in line. A review is retained, and it was out, but they did review it, but it was out. So
okay. Do you want to confirm that, Sam?
Yeah. Sorry, did I miss you guys there?
Carry on,
yes,
Matt.
you did, yeah.
Carry on,
That's
Matt.
okay. It's okay. We're a relaxed show.
Sorry, I was just settling in. I just got myself a cup of coffee, and yeah. Joe Root's gone for 21. Big moment in this game. Nathan Smith, who's been possibly maybe New Zealand's most consistent bowler in the series, behind Matt Henry, not available in this game because of injury. It's a full ball angling into Joe Root, looks to try and turn it away into the leg side. Hit on the pad, given out on field, did review, clipping leg stump. So New Zealand strike early on day 3 of this Test match. Joe Root goes for 21. England now 3 down.
Thanks,
Sam. Sam. So, yeah, let's do some France then. Eric Bielderman, French football expert, joins us. Hey, Eric.
Hey, Eric.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Bonjour.
I mean, 3 wins from 3. Are you starting to believe, Eric?
Of course, we do believe. We have had the feeling from the early stage of the tournament that behind Spain, we are the co-favorite or the second favorite of the tournament. Now, after the first phase, we can see emerging also Argentina. Argentina is also a very strong team with maybe a quite easy way to reach at least the semi-final. So, of course, we are very happy. We're optimistic. And the very good point of yesterday is Dembele is back.
Yeah. And Dembele and being set up by Mbappe, like an understanding between those two players, because you will know better than me, but the understanding is that Dembele hasn't really sort of found his place in this team until the last couple of games.
Yeah, we knew that to have Dembele behind the Kylian Mbappe like it was first game didn't work. So Dembele now is a wide right player like he was years ago with Paris Saint-Germain, but also with Barcelona. And Olise plays central behind Mbappe. And altogether, the system seems to work. It seems to work because we have an offensive way of thinking, an offensive lineup with only 2 defensive midfield to make the job. So far it works. And what is the good point is that Dembele is on fire. So far, he was for quite ages, I would say a couple of months, he was not at all on fire. So yesterday, I think the mental boost is the major positive aspect of that game.
I'm just so impressed with the creativity in the side that they seem to be able to work out how to score against any team. We saw England in the week struggling against the low block. I just feel like France would have found answers, because if Mbappe's not doing it, Olise will do it, or Dembele will do it. It just feels like a complete team.
Yeah, it's true that they can score to any opponent. They can score in any situation. But also, you have noticed that yesterday with the B team of Norway, they were also conceding some chances. They could have got a penalty which was 3-2 instead of 3-1. the left and right back are not doing exactly what you can expect from a defense of a world champion team to be. So we are quite optimistic. We know that, offensively speaking, we are not by far, but we are for sure the best team. And even on the bench, we have players Barcola, like Cherki. It's gifted. It's a gifted team in the offensive. But we know that the World Cup, it's not only about show. It's not about scoring goals. It's also at some point not to concede goals. So we are optimistic. We're happy. But we are realistic that knockout phase is another story.
Yeah, and I suppose if you're trying to look at holes in France, which is difficult, your sort of central midfield? I mean, because Rabiot was he didn't play yesterday, but and Tchouameni's look, they're brilliant players. But I guess if you compare it to the Spain midfield or the Portugal midfield, you might think that is when it gets really down to the business end. That might be where you struggle. I don't know.
Yeah. In fact, you make a key point. Didier Deschamps always won tournament or was strong in tournaments with a 4-3-3 system. He likes to have strong defensive and creative midfield in the meantime. So with two, which is the case today, it's like it doesn't feel like I have to make a choice between my four jewels up front. So I trust them and I ask them to do the defensive job properly. But when you will have to play, as you say, Spain or Argentina or maybe England, we know that the battle of the midfield might be the key of the game. And will Didier Deschamps will go to the system that he's having now, which is quite a revolutionary system in his culture, or shall he go back to a more cautious lineup? That's a question mark that we don't have so far a clue. But if we look at the next phase, we play Sweden, then we might have to play Germany. I think with this system, we can go through. Then, when will come the Argentina or the Spain, that's the two teams I really consider as the most fearful team for us, then I'm sure we shall have some new talk about what's going to happen in Didier Deschamps' mind.
Well, you're just being a bit too good at the moment for our liking, Eric, but, it is a joy to watch. Thanks for coming on, pal.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, my friend. Cheers.
Eric Wilderman there, French football expert. Back to Sam Ellard. What's happening at Trent Bridge, please?
It's another wicket for New Zealand. England have lost 2 wickets in 2 overs. Joe Root went to Nathan Smith, and now Jacob Bethel, who played beautifully yesterday for a 74, has just lost his wicket. Will O'Rourke going over the wicket, angling the ball away from the left-handed back Jacob Bethel. There's a little bit of whip, then he pushes the ball outside of his off stump, takes the outside edge, and it's a really good catch by Tom Latham. When England arrived this morning on 224 for 2, all the talk was about how big can that lead be, how many runs can they add today. We saw a monumental collapse from New Zealand on day 1 into day 2 from 317 all out, 317 without loss to 438 all out. Let's hope England don't follow suit. Root's gone for 21, Bethel's gone for 74, England 224 for 4.
Thank you, Sam. Sam Ellard there at Trent Bridge. So not the perfect start for England, but Sam will keep you posted. It's Max and Charlie here on the warm-up. Dan Bardell will join us, and we'll do some transfer stuff with you. It's hard to keep up, isn't it? So hopefully Dan has done everything so he can just tell us what's happened. We'll do that next.
You mentioned him there, right, and about Nico O'Reilly. Now, obviously, the manager made a change because he saw something in Ghana and he thought Spence would have been a better option. But you would have watched Nico week in, week out. Does it faze him, whoever he's playing against, however quick they are, strong they are? Is he just the perfect left back in terms of playing against anyone?
I tell you what is the difference between Nico and Jed Spence. Nico get you a goal. He will get you a ghosting and get you a goal.
Yeah.
I haven't seen enough of Jed Spence. I'm not Tottenham fan. I haven't seen enough of him, so I don't know. But being biased, he'd be the first name on the City team sheet, never alone the England team sheet. So, and when he came on, he had one of the two best chances. So, I wouldn't be quick to drop Nico. He's whatever he might lack as a fullback, he'll give you going forward the other way.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And he's fearless. He's fearless on the ball. You know, he can dribble like a midfielder. You know, he's a top player.
Let's sort of move it on to City while staying with England. You are edging closer to a deal for Elliot Anderson. And I said before the window opened, if United could buy one player that would be gettable, it would be Elliot Anderson. I'm not too sure about the price tag. I don't know what that's going to be. I know Forest have already rejected a deal worth about £121 million. Your views on him? Are you excited by the prospect of him being a City player?
Yeah, I mean, I've never taken much notice of him, to be honest. You know what I mean? He's one of those players that you don't really, he scored against us last season and he was great. But the price tag, silly money for footballers, you know what I mean? Is any footballer worth that amount of money? But looking at him in this World Cup, he looks the real deal to me. He's got a good engine.
Get ready to get that winning feeling with talkSPORT Win. This summer, talkSPORT is bringing you live and official coverage of every game of the FIFA World Cup 2026. And to celebrate, we're giving away £26,000 guaranteed. Go to win.talksport.com to enter now, and you could win 26 grand in your hand, tax-free. Enter now, and you could be the next to get that winning feeling, courtesy of talkSPORT Win. Find out how to enter now at win.talksport.com.
Morning, everybody. Max and Charlie with
you. Good morning.
One on talkSPORT. Well, good morning.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the game day warm-up.
Are you trying to make it sound like afternoons on Magic?
We're into it.
What's all this proper analysis on the French team? Talk about the weather at random games. No one wants to hear analysis. We want absolute nonsense. It's got to be yin and yang here. You can't do everything here. This show does everything.
Find someone who can do everything.
Yeah, and that's us. Welcome. And let's bring in Dan Bardell. Play his music.
Yes, let's go.
This ain't no technological breakdown.
Oh no.
Oh no.
This is the Dan Bardell.
And that's Dan on guitar now.
Yeah, he's on the guitar now. Play it up, play it loud. Dan Bardell.
Very good, Dan. Very good, Dan.
Really good at this, isn't he? Oh, he's excellent.
Grade 6.
Playing it with his teeth now. Grade 6. Okay. I hope he did his grade 5 practical musicianship. Otherwise, that grade 6 is invalid. Welcome, Dan Bardell.
Hello. Let me just put my guitar down.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well played.
Are you here doing transfers today? I mean, you can do everything. You can do whatever you like, Dan. But should we talk about Elliot Anderson? Because I mean, there's been a lot of, you just got to pay what they want. If you want someone, I mean, it seems a mad amount of money to pay for anything, let alone just a person. But, that is football now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like going to the supermarket and spending 150 quid on a weekly shop, but it's the way of the world. And I don't think it's as ridiculous as people are making out, purely because he's an England starting midfielder. I'm not saying he's as good as Declan Rice was, but he's a very, very good central midfield player who's developed exceptionally over the last few years. And it's a similar price to what Rice went to 3 years ago. So I can kind of understand the price. And in fairness, Marinakis at Forest is a fierce negotiator. He showed that last season with Morgan Gibbs-White and getting him to stay and kind of debunking what Tottenham were trying to do. So Man City, it's not like Man City haven't got the money either. So if he's the player that's been identified, I think it's interesting because obviously previously when Manchester City have signed players, it's, you're going to Manchester City, you're going to go and work with Pep. What can he do for your career? Players going there now, it's a little bit more unknown, isn't it, with Maresca?
Yeah. I think that is interesting. And I think it's, Forest are good. Elliot Anderson is really good. Newcastle fans must be like, God, they just sold him for PSR and now look at it. But it's interesting when you put a player, with better players around them, it'll be really interesting to see what his ceiling is.
Yeah, I think it's imperative for him actually that Manchester City hold on to Rodri, because that's got the makings of a nice partnership. I think if Rodri's to move on as well this summer, which has been linked, I'm not sure whether that will happen or whether it won't. Suddenly with the Bernardo Silva void as well, you're asking him to step up and kind of being the main man, which I think is a tough ask in his first season at Manchester City. Obviously, they'd probably recruit if Rodri did go, and maybe Rodri's not the player he was a couple of years ago after injury. But I think it's about getting the components right around him as well, because there's a situation here where he could be at Manchester City, new manager, you're then played and tasked with being the senior midfielder, and I think that would be a big ask for him, even though he's a phenomenal player.
The Bernardo Silva Void was a brilliant film. I mean, it was a bit predictable in the end, but I loved it as a movie. Anyway, Charlie, do you have a sensible question?
I was going to say, Dan, big Aston Villa fan, as we know. Are you quite happy that John McGinn's coming home unscathed?
I'm not happy that he's coming home. I was in the weird situation where I actually wanted Scotland to do quite well as an England fan because of him, and I've watched every Scotland game. I've watched him closely. I thought he's probably out of everyone the one that comes with his head held the highest. He obviously scored the goal that he scored, ending like 10,000-day drought or whatever it was without Scotland scoring a World Cup goal. And he had that moment that Scotland fans will celebrate. That they were in a horrific group, to be in a group with Morocco and Brazil, and maybe they've been exposed tactically a little bit. But I think McGinn had a pretty good tournament, all things considered. But yes, I'm glad he's not hurt. You're not sure?
I think
I don't think even McTominay turned out. I don't think they turned.
I mean, the point is they had to get a 9 or an 8, 9, 10 out of 10 performance against one of those two, and I don't think either of them really. It's hard because obviously you're playing against Brazil. Like, that is hard, and they weren't to blame.
I wonder if they were allowed to play how they wanted to play. That might be Steve Clarke might have changed how they want. Anyway, let's talk about the transfers, because that's what we're doing, isn't it? Arsenal set to make a move for Bruno Guimaraes. I mean, Newcastle United lose Anthony Gordon. We just mentioned Elliot Anderson used to be theirs. And now they're possibly losing Bruno Guimaraes, probably their best player at the moment. And you go
Antonali,
and they've got all the money in the world, but they're not allowed to spend it. Does it not show up PSR to be slightly broken?
I mean, in all fairness, you don't want me talking about PSR because you won't be able to go to a break. I'll just sit here and moan about it for an hour. So I won't do that. But what I will say is that Newcastle are in a pretty precarious position right now for me. They've lost Anthony Gordon, which I think, look at it, you can see that that's a good deal for all parties. I understand why they accepted that. Maybe it doesn't send out a great message a year after losing Isak as well, but I can understand it. Suddenly, the Tonali one's the one that doesn't make a lot of sense, but he obviously has got his heart set on Tottenham in some ways. De Zerbi's a manager that he obviously wants to go and work for. I expect Tottenham will get to the fee that Newcastle want and they'll sell him as well. That's when it suddenly looks, that's not a good look. Tonali leaving Newcastle to go to Tottenham, who finished 17th 2 seasons in a row. Does Bruno Guimaraes look at what's going on around him and think, well, I've given everything here. I've lifted a trophy. Is it the end of my time? I'd quite like the challenge of Arsenal, actually. I don't think Arsenal kind of enter into any form of discussion without a little bit of encouragement. And I did a show on this yesterday on talkSPORT 2, and I don't think it would take a lot to go into free fall for Newcastle. I don't think it would take much for them to be what Tottenham have been over the last couple of years. I really, really don't. Their recruitment's been patchy. Eddie Howe's under a little bit of pressure now, whereas he never has been before. If they lose too many players, you wouldn't necessarily trust them to recruit well off the back of it. So if I was a Newcastle fan, and I think they are, I'd be seriously worried right now about where my club's heading.
And actually, you don't know. We still don't know. If you look at what's happened with Live Golf, you're just still not quite sure exactly what the owners' priorities are, and have changed slightly. And and that's such a bigger picture question that it's really hard to know where Newcastle stand. Like we're talking about amounts of money. Maybe I haven't watched enough of Tonali to know if 100 million seems wild for him. I don't know what you think, Dan, or maybe it's fine.
Less than Elliot, I'm trying to work out whether it being less than Elliot Anderson is a fair thing or not. I think he's a brilliant player. Tonali, obviously, he's had his problems since he's come into the Premier League. It just seems to be the going right now. Like, clubs know that the so-called Big Six teams have money.
Yeah.
And Newcastle can't spend that money. So they're going to demand a huge price point, same as Forest did for Elliot Anderson, same as Villa will do for Morgan Rogers if someone comes to the table for him. I think the clubs that are outside of that Big Six that don't get the revenue that they do, it's the only way they can try and kind of make up the shortfall is by overcharging those clubs. And I think that's what Nottingham Forest did. And I think that's what Newcastle are probably trying to do as well.
Barca Jim's been in touch, Dan. Furious with your thoughts. The McGinn had a good World Cup.
And when I say good, it was a low bar. I think he was the best of a bad bunch. That's what I would say. You said about them needing to be like 8 or 9 out of 10. I'd say the tactics were like a 1 or 2 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree. Passing it to the other team in your box is a bad tactic.
It's not great, that.
Have Villa done any business? You done anything yet?
No, we're not allowed to. We're kind of under these UEFA constraints at the moment where we have to run everything by them. So if we are to buy someone, we have to sell someone, basically. Okay. That's the model that Villa are operating. And I don't think it's a model that will catch on.
Where's Harvey Elliott?
On holiday, I suspect. He's not a Villa. He won't be coming back to Villa. That's for sure, because he didn't play enough games to get the loan to buy fee to be activated.
So he's back at Liverpool now, is he?
He'll be back at Liverpool, hoping for a chance under Iraola, and probably wishing that he hadn't made the move he did 12, 13 months ago, to be honest. But I wish him well. I hope he has a good season with whoever he's
Spurs all day long. He'll be at Spurs.
Could be.
I guarantee him Spurs all day.
I think Tottenham's investment is really interesting. I think, I like what they've done so far. Like buying players that are good and sensible, and I think it feels odd. Must say it feels odd that they're just going. I think what they've decided is they actually have to spend the wages that the big complaint of Tottenham fans is they just don't match the wages of the other top 6 sides.
Yeah.
And so eventually, it eventually results in not having quite as good of players. And now I think they've just gone, whatever, have what you want. So it'll be fascinating to see I don't know what you think, Dan, with no European football, if they keep investing like this, and I don't quite understand how, I suppose they create lots of revenue, right? That's why they can spend this money. It will be really interesting to see what De Zerbi can do. He's got time on the training ground. We saw that work with Carrick at United. You have time, your players are rested. I think we don't talk enough about footballers being exhausted. Like it's hard. It's harder to play if you're tired. So Tottenham they're not going to win the league, but it'd be really interesting to see how well they do this season, I think, Dan.
Yeah, football's weird, isn't it? Because you can dress not being in Europe up as being a real positive thing for a team. And in fairness, it probably is for Tottenham on this occasion, and build and try and get into their next season where they're better set to fight on multiple fronts. I think the Tottenham hierarchy, they absolutely have got a manager now that they've got to buy into, and they've got to trust him, and they've got to back him. So I think quite simply, that's what they're doing. And it's kind of weird because you would think Tottenham in their current kind of guise aren't an attractive proposition, but they've done a great job over the last kind of 6 weeks or so of dressing themselves up to being very attractive, and that they've bought some good players. Obviously, they're not going to finish 17th next season if they continue in the vein that they are with recruitment. I think they've got in 2 really good players that will make them better on free transfers. I don't know if the Van Hecker deal gone through yet, but they're signing Van Hecker from a club that is better than them. He's a good defender for me, infinitely better than Romero, and will do you less damage than Romero will do you as well. I think he's the most overrated footballer that I've ever seen in my life. I think he's an accident waiting to happen, and if I was a Spurs fan, I'd be absolutely elated that he was leaving. Van Hecker's an upgrade on him for me, and then I'm sure they'll do business at the top end as well. And if they get Tonali, it's a fantastic bit of recruitment from their perspective, because that's an ambitious signing, a signing you wouldn't have called them to make at the end of the season.
Good stuff, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
For coming on, my friend. Always nice to chat.
Thank you. See you soon.
Dan Bardell there.
Can't believe you said Spurs are going to win the league, Max.
Yeah, well, I think so. Put that on Instagram.
No, Max Rushton says Spurs will win the league.
Come at me in the comments. It's hard to keep up with everything that's happening. And then Cambridge United signed Callum Stead, and then I'm like, oh, here we go. This is big. Are we doing two-worder?
Two-worder, yes, two-worder. What's the best hat?
Come on then, listeners. You've done nothing so far today. It's about time you turned up and delivered for this show. 2-word phone in 03717 223344. 2 words, no more, or never call again. We're playing Panama today, so what's the best hat? 03717 03717 223344.
Calls only and 2 words only.
Calls only, 2 words only. Get your calls in now to avoid disappointment. We will take all the calls, of course. 03717 223344. What's the best hat?
I just think our options, like we bring O'Reilly on, he gets the header in the box late on. You start putting bodies in the box against these low defensive block teams. Like it was calling out for Tony to come on for me, get more bodies in the box, because we had players come on, put more crosses in the box. Saka come on and made an impact, I thought. But I just think Saka and Rashford has to start.
He's got to take the skipper off if he does.
So that was John Terry, sitting exactly where Sam is this morning. This clamour for Rashford, you've got a view in that, haven't you?
Well, I just don't remember the last time Rashford started the game for England was particularly impactful. It's always the way, whatever you haven't got is what you cry out for when you don't get the outcomes that you want. The main thrust of England's game was they didn't fizz the ball around. If you move the ball quickly, you move people around. And it was interesting that they put Saka on, which I think makes a lot of difference when he comes on, because he's a clever player, he creates outcomes. And the numbers that he throws out on the field are quite staggering when he's actually on the field. And then he shifted Madueke dug outside so that the coach could be in his ear driving him forward. I think the other thing, I think Rashford comes on as an impact player. If you're playing the last 20 minutes of a game and Rashford comes on with a wild hair up his backside because he hasn't been in the side, he's been replaced by Anthony Gordon at Barcelona and England, and wants to play, which is the Rashford that we've got now. Tragically, for a boy of his talent, he's a consequence player. Every time he does something that gets him consequence, he responds to it. He doesn't play well for a season. The England team need him to be available for the next World Cup. He has a good season. He goes away, gets himself into trouble by not turning up for a training session, gets consequence. The next 3 games he plays very well. So I don't think Rashford starting is the answer. I think the midfield popping the ball around against teams that sit in and defend. And interestingly, I watched the Panamanians. These are not a bad side. They are quite a dynamic side. I thought the first 25 minutes...
The German leading England. It all sounds a little bit odd, but as Thomas Tuchel tries to bring football home, here's how he ended up in one of the most scrutinised jobs in sport. Well, Tuchel started his footballing journey in the sleepy town of Krimbach. His leadership skills were obvious from an early age, with Tuchel even making subs during PE volleyball sessions. After a knee injury ended his playing career at the age of 25, Tuchel accepted his first coaching role in the Stuttgart U setup in 2000. He led the club's under-19s to their league title 5 years later, but his perceived abrasive personality meant Stuttgart chose not to renew his contract. He went on to spend 5 years at the helm at Mainz before leaving the club for Dortmund. And there, Tuchel secured his first major trophy, the German Cup, in 2017. 8 more pieces of silverware came next for Tuchel in just 5 seasons at PSG, Chelsea and Bayern Munich. And that CV impressed the top brass at the FA.
We found so many similarities and so many things that suited my approach and my hunger to achieve special things. I always wanted to come back to England.
Well, he says all the right things, but is destiny on Tuchel's side?
Two-word phone in then in just a second. What's the best hat? We're playing Panama later. So what's the best hat? 03717 22 344. Before that, let's go back to Trent Bridge. Another wicket, Sam Ellard.
Yeah, England have lost 3 wickets for 11 runs this morning from 224 for 2. England now 234 for 5. Root and Bethel were the first 2 to go. Then Jamie Smith going for 1. Nathan Smith with a full delivery. Smith looking to drive through the offside. Takes the outside edge. A really good low catch at first lipped by Daryl Mitchell. Harry Brooks got 8 runs to his name. A nice ovation for Ben Stokes here at Trent Bridge, and his return to the Test team. He's yet to get off the mark, but a bad start for England on day 3 of this deciding Test match. 235 for 5. England trailing New Zealand by 204 runs.
What's the best goal, Andy?
Josimar.
Oh, lovely. Just one word needed.
Ian
is a Man City fan. What's the best year, Ian?
2012, Aguero.
Oh, never call again. Too many words. Don't use your phone again. Michael, throw your SIM card out of your phone. Throw it out the window. Drive over
Burn your phone. Burn it.
Michael's a Preston fan. What's the best goal?
Poppycock.
What a great phone-in.
Phone-in.
So live commentary of England-Panama at 10 o'clock tonight on talkSPORT. So we're asking what's the best hat. Nick's a Chelsea fan. Nick, what's the best hat?
Baseball cap.
Baseball cap.
Baseball
Nice.
cap. Solid.
Nice.
It's a solid start. Tom is a Manchester United fan. Tom, what's the best hat?
Military hat.
Military hat. I mean, there are some good ones. Andrew's a Man United fan. What's the best hat?
Hattie Jakes.
Hattie Jakes.
Hattie Jakes.
Sure, okay,
excellent.
nice. Very nice.
That's really
Very
good.
nice.
Ben's an England fan. Ben, what's the best hat?
Black balaclava.
Black balaclava. Okay. I mean, look, you can't get away with stuff with it.
that a
It
hat?
is true.
Is that a hat?
Is it a hat? Is a balaclava
Is
a
a
hat?
balaclava a hat?
It's not really a hat, is it? But you do put it over your head. I guess Andy's a Norwich fan. What's the best hat?
Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile
that
Dundee
is
hat. Good hat.
That is the best hat.
With the corks on.
Ali's an Oldham fan. Ali, what's the best hat?
Deer Stalker.
Deer Stalker. Sherlock Holmes. Very nice.
Really good. Right, lovely phone in. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
The phone in. Use your phone. Ring the phone. It's the telephone. Time for a phone call. Ring, ring, ring.
Hyperbole.
Intrigue. 2 words. Thoughts. Considerations. It's your time to shine. People saying their thing. Get on with it. You on the radio.
Imagine that. I like that we had military hat and then black balaclava.
Exactly.
Felt slightly dark phone in there.
Everything covered there.
Got it all covered.
Beret Glendenning, Fedor Eco Chiesa. So go on then, hat football. We'll do that for half an hour. Hat football. Let's do a bit on Craig Bellamy then, who wanted to leave Wales, go to Burnley. Burnley said you can't have all your backroom staff. And now, anyway, Lawrence Mora, who covers Wales for talkSPORT, amongst other things, joins us. Hey, Lawrence, you okay?
Hey, Lawrence.
Hi guys, bucket hat, by the way.
Bucket hat.
Well done. Thanks for your call. 2 words and that's it. Next caller, please. Okay, bye.
It's not just naming hats, Lawrence.
Oh, sorry.
What do you so where does this leave
everyone?
Bellamy and Wales? Because if he wanted to go, and sometimes you try and get a new job and then you don't get it, doesn't mean he's the wrong person for Wales, even if they're probably a bit annoyed about it.
Yeah, so I mean, the first things first, this has probably been going on since April. So Craig was, he spoke at the start of June the 1st, just before the Ghana game, spoke about how he was in his dream job. He'd had some good offers, but he was committed to Wales. He wanted to take them through to Euro 2028, be the man to lead them out in Cardiff for that opening game, should they qualify, and make history. And then less than 20 days later, we understand that he is very close to joining Burnley, that they've come back in with a better offer, that his salary is going to be tripled, and that he was going to be on his way. And everything pointed to the fact that he was prepared for that. From my understanding, the finer details were being sorted on that contract. And then there was a change of heart. And the thing is that although we've heard the speculation, from various sources about falling down over the backroom staff potentially, but we don't actually know who has actually pulled the plug on it, whether it was Burnley or whether it was Bellamy. So I think there's a lot of questions to answer. And for Wales fans, I think they kind of got used to the fact that he was going, and then to turn around and not go. Again, I think he needs to speak to them and explain kind of why and what happened, really.
Surely he can just say they were going to triple my salary. I mean, I love it here at talkSPORT, but if anyone's that's quite a lot, isn't it? A 300% pay rise. I know football managers, they've got so much money, but even still, surely that's enough to say, I'm sorry, Wales fans. If he stays at Wales to say, look, they were offering me 3 times my wages, what would you do? I think most fans would be like, okay, fair enough, because he has been brilliant for Wales.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that if you looked at social media, and again, we just quantify it always, don't we? Both social media is not everything and everybody. But the majority seem to be, okay, fair enough. You know, we've had a good ride. He's done well. If he wants to go and that's the offer, then I think that there was a sort of acceptance on that. It was the coming back afterwards, 20 days since saying that it was his dream job, it just all felt a bit messy. And if you look at social media now, I think Ewan Roberts, the ex-Wales striker, was doing a various interviews saying that he seems to have burned a lot of bridges with the fans. And I think that's kind of the situation at the moment. I think there's a repair job that needs doing. The FAW CEO, Noel Mooney, seems to be pretty just sort of agreeable with the situation, or okay with the situation, certainly publicly. He's talked about how he's happy that Craig will be leading them into the Nations League and that he's done a good job so far. So, yeah, I think there's questions to answer, but I think to start with, the Wales fans were happy. Don't seem quite so happy now.
Well, did anyone else throw their hat into the ring while he was leaving? Did you see anyone come and take over?
I mean, this is how far down the road it got, that we understand that Rob Edwards and Steve Cooper were both spoken to by the FAW and approached in terms of whether they would be available, whether they would be interested in taking on the job. And the irony now is that Burnley are top 2 candidates are Steve Cooper and Rob Edwards. So, you know, the merry-go-round of managers in the English leagues and with the Welsh. So yeah, there is a certain sense of irony there. But make no mistake, it was the FAW were putting contingency plans in there, and I think for one moment Aaron Ramsey's name was being bandied around, and then on Monday he was joining Oxford and becoming manager at Oxford, and Wales potentially will be looking for a new under-19s manager because we believe Chris Gunter's going to be joining him at Oxford. So it is all going on in Welsh football at the moment. It's a good job we didn't qualify for the World Cup, isn't it?
Yeah, very lucky on that. Cheers, Lawrence. Thanks for going on, pal.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Lawrence Moore there. It's nice that Wales is a stepping stone to Burnley, isn't it?
I mean,
that's it.
How do you go back from that and go, I didn't mean it? I suppose people have done it in the past. Look, he's always Welsh, isn't he? He's always going to be Welsh, and he's always going to be the Welsh manager if he wants to be, I suppose. But
he's not always going to be the Welsh manager, Charlie.
Not always.
He is always going to be Welsh,
but he could always be Welsh manager. I think. It's not like leaving a club and then going. Actually,
I'll make you a guarantee, right? When we're doing this show in 50 years' time, the warm-up in 50 years'
I'll
time.
be 100. What will it be like? Will I be still doing the go-get-its?
Yeah, I think so.
At 100?
Andy Jacobs is still turning it out.
That's true.
It's fine.
I don't think he's 100.
I think he's 100.
I don't think he's 100.
I think he's 100.
Imagine if he is 100.
Doing a great job. He's doing a great job.
He's doing, I mean, for 100.
For 100, he's really delivering, isn't he?
Really is.
Yeah, so in 100 years, in 50 years' time, when we're doing the show together, I'll be a sprightly 97. Craig Bellamy won't be the Welsh manager.
You say that. We'll still be hosting. But we're going to be still hosting radio. So what's the stop? Why are you so ageist? Why are you stopping Craig Bellamy being...
I think he'll have moved on then. I think that's when he's going to be announced. He's going to be announced the Burnley manager in 2076.
Okay.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Put a reminder in your phone. Right, Wheel of Football is coming up next. It's Patrick the Villa fan versus Ben the West Brom fan again.
Ronaldo is top, still top. But Haaland, for instance, is a better finisher.
Let me ask you this. In world football, I said this, Bentley, on yesterday's show, and I got a little bit of criticism. In his pomp, right? I'll ask you both. I'll start with Bentley.
I heard it.
I said R9 is a better finisher than Cristiano Ronaldo.
No, do you know,
he's a better striker, number 9.
Do you know what you said, right? And you said he was a better goal scorer.
Okay.
Right? Now, for me, R9 is a better centre forward. Like, I don't think it's even close, right? But what people will do is look at the numbers. And this is where sometimes stats-wise, like the new generation will go, if I say R9's better than Ronaldo, Cristiano, they're going to go, are you crazy? He's got 1,000 goals. But sometimes it's not about just stats. It's about what does your eyes tell you. And anyone who's watched it, you would have watched him. R9 is the best centre forward I've ever seen.
R9 for me, that's my hero. He is. That's why I wanted to become a striker. You look at him, and Ronaldo has done absolutely magnificent. Yeah, and Ronaldo, it's all about numbers and goal scoring. And he's obsessed with that. And that makes him so good. But R9 is just phenomenal. He's just incredible.
Better.
As a footballer.
You
much
both
more
agree with
natural.
me on that.
Yeah, but you said, because the way you said goal scorer.
Yeah.
Now, you can't compare the numbers because Ronaldo's numbers are crazy.
You know what I mean? Like a better player.
He's a better player.
Yeah.
He's a better player. He's the things that he used to do, picking up the ball and dribbling, the goals that he scored for Barcelona. Oh my.
Hello, I'm Matt Fordham from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Good morning and welcome to the Wheel of Football. Here are your hosts, Max Rushton and Charlie Baker.
Good morning.
2 guests, 10 footballers, 5 categories. Only one winner unless it's a draw again. Let's play the Wheel of
Unless
Football.
they're both really good and we want to keep them coming back.
Let's bring on our competitors today. Patrick the Villa fan. Welcome, Patrick.
Hello, Patrick.
Good morning, Fabio and Groove Rider. Or should I say Bongo from Gozo?
Oh, okay. Yeah, are you in Gozo? Are you in Gozo?
I'm on Gozo.
Wow, on Gozo.
Yeah, Darcy's life insurance has landed, so me and the current Mrs. Reynolds decided to get away from it all. Especially after Heartless Matt saving a attack on my dead dog last week.
Oh, yeah, that was true.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't mean that. Rest in peace, dog. Okay, well, look, Gozo's a nice spot, isn't it? There, pedal around on a bicycle. Let's bring in, you're taking on the reigning world number 1, Ben, the West Brom fan. Hi, Ben.
Hello, Ben.
Good morning, gents. How are we both?
Very
good. Patrick's on the beach. He's literally on the beach. He's not taking this seriously, Ben, so this could be your chance to finally see him off.
Good for Patrick, I say. Good for Patrick.
Oh,
I see.
It's nice.
No trash talk.
Had a go at his dog. Had a go at his dead dog last week.
Got to keep a class and decorum in this game. And Patrick's dragged me down to levels I didn't think I needed to. So.
Okay, let's have a footballer each. Ben, give us a footballer.
Oh, I'd love to start, Max, if I can, with Mixu Patalainen, please.
You can start with Mixu Patalainen. Patrick, what are you bringing to the table?
Patrick.
Zico.
Okay, it's a big game. Patalainen versus Zico. Here we go.
We've got a very long name and a very short name against each other.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, well spotted, Charlie.
It's Arthur Antunes Kiombre, if you want it, actually, Charlie.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah,
there we are.
Yeah, extra points for that if you want, but there you go.
The category is...
asked, actually, Patrick, so...
Oh, wow.
See.
Me.
Well, here we go. Jeez, that didn't last long, did it?
That didn't last long.
The category is best at drawing a good picture of a horse.
Best at drawing a good picture of a horse. Patrick.
Difficult to draw a horse.
Zico, there's more horses in Brazil than there is in wherever he's going to say. So there must be a win.
There must be a correlation, do you think?
That he's seen more horses. You feel like he...
Horses in West Bromwich Albion.
really convincing that was, Patrick, because Mixu Patalainen's from West Bromwich, isn't he? No, he's Finnish and actually a renowned artist in his local region, so less of the dissing of old Mixu, thank you.
Oh, yeah, well, so he's saying people who've seen more horses are best at drawing horses. So Rupert Bell, sensational horse drawer.
Is there a correlation?
I'm a Villa fan.
A Villa fan, yeah.
Who are you going to give that to? I'm giving it Mixu because do you know what? Because Mixu can mix paints.
Okay,
so,
and that is true, and that is very good one. Very good. Another footballer, please.
1-0 to Ben. Another footballer, please, Ben. 1-0 up.
Ooh, I'd love to play Andy Impey, please, Max.
Of course you can play Andy Impey. Okay, who are you playing, Patrick?
David Unsworth, or David Unsworthy, as us Villa fan calls him.
David Unsworth.
1 month.
Okay, Andy Impey versus David Unsworth.
I used to get excited about Andy Impey because we had a manager and a player called John Impey who
that's nice.
Was very good for us, but they weren't related. They weren't John Inman. He was
John Inman.
You're absolutely right. He was on a free, so that's good, isn't it? Yeah, here we go.
What's the category?
Yeah, that was the joke. Here we go. Have their phone at 2% always.
Impey
Andy
or
Impey or Unsworth? And I'm thinking Unsworth.
You think Unsworth?
I think he's got it charged up. I don't know.
Ben?
No, the thing is, because Andy Impey's got such a short neck, which is factual, thanks very much, he struggles to reach his charger a lot of the time. So,
okay.
Yeah, he can only keep a certain percentage of battery on his phone, unfortunately, for Andy. Fantastic winger, but short neck.
Short neck.
Patrick?
Well, if we're going for percentages, then David Unsworth signed for £3 million and was only there for 1 month at Villa, so he does keep an eye on percentages.
That's science.
So I'm afraid
that's science, Max. You can't argue with science.
You can't argue with science.
Well, size of neck is also scientific, isn't it?
That's true.
The human body. What do you think?
You're the ombudsman. You're the ombudsman, Max.
I'm giving it Impey 2-0.
It's 2-0 Impey. It's unbelievable.
Can't reach the charger.
Patrick on the beach. You can't reach the charger, of course, because you always get the charger with your neck, don't you?
You do, yeah. You lean with your neck. You lean with it.
Famously use your neck to get the charger.
You know what people used to say to Andy? They say, "Come on, stick." He's always just sitting on the fence. They go, "Stick your neck out," and he'd be like,
"Come on, guys, I've got Ouzo to drink."
Okay. Sorry for holding you up on your holiday.
I've been on the fist all
Another
week.
footballer, please.
That's a Maltese lager.
Come on, Patrick. Another footballer, please.
My third footballer is Super Sammy Collins. Torquay legend.
Yeah, Super
Sammy Collins.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we going, Ben?
I'd love to play Dele Adebola, please, Max.
You can play Dele Adebola, of course you can. Okay, Adebola versus Sammy Collins.
Sammy Collins, long time ago, Max. Absolute Torquay legend, but 50s, 60s. So we're not looking.
Wow, okay.
Class is permanent, Charlie. Class is permanent.
Get Sammy Collins on. That's what we start shouting if we're playing badly.
So 308 appearances, 219 goals between 1948 and 1950.
In black and white. Them goals were in black and
proper
white.
Black, so colder, as we know.
It
Here we
means
go.
more.
It means more in black and white.
It means more in black and white. Here
That's
we go.
what we say on this show.
It means more in black
and white. And the category that's been drawn out is most passionate lover.
Okay, Patrick.
Man. He had 7 kids. Enough said. Had a big.
Sammy Collins had 7 kids.
That's okay.
I mean, to be honest, in Torquay.
Fact check.
4 that he knew of.
Yeah. Ben?
Yeah, I don't like the way that's going, really. That's throwing some shame, actually, on Sammy's name, isn't it? I don't know the guy, but I'm sure that won't go down well with him. Dele Love Machine Adebola is all I'll say, gents. Dele Love Machine Adebola.
I don't know. I think Sammy will have put it about a bit in Torquay in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah,
okay, it's 2-1. It's 2-1. It's 2-1. Sammy Collins gets it. The Don Juan of the 50s in Torquay.
Okay.
Give us a footballer, please, Ben.
Oh, I'd love to play Julian Joachim, please, Max.
Again?
No.
Julian Joachim. What are you complaining about, Patrick? It's 2-1. You got a point.
Is he going first again?
Life. Patrick complains about life, don't worry.
He is going first, but it doesn't matter who goes first in this game.
Only person to moan when he's on holiday.
Patrick.
No wonder John Ketley fired. Be quiet, you boy.
Pick us a footballer, please.
Julian Joachim v who?
The first female footballer, actually, Charlie. I hope it doesn't upset probably the sexist xenophobic Ben. Jill Scott.
Jill Scott.
Jill Scott.
Okay, I don't think she was the first.
First ever footballer.
First ever female footballer.
Trailblazer.
Competition.
In this competition, okay. Julian Joachim versus Jill Scott.
All right, okay.
Okay.
Jeez, honestly.
Hair.
Best hair. Okay. It's 2-2.
That is completely random. Completely random. That's come out genuinely random.
Joachim can't compete with Jill Scott on that. So there we go. 2-2. We go into the final. This is so exciting.
And genuinely not fixed. So
Paul says we wouldn't fix anything on this show. I met Andy Impey at the Leicester training ground. His BMW had broken down. So it was broken down. Couldn't charge his phone. More evidence. Here we go. Give us a footballer, please. Patrick.
Super John Carew.
John Carew. Very nice. Yeah, John Carew.
Ben?
Okay.
I'll counteract that actually with a Philippe Albert, please, Max.
Okay, lovely. Philippe Albert versus John Carew. That's a great game.
What a matchup. Category.
His moustache. What is it?
Would give you the best relationship advice.
Oh.
Okay.
You do not have locks and a tosh like Philippe Albert and not be a great romantic advice giver.
Great Belgian lover. Great Flemish lover.
The chocolate, the beers, the atmosphere, Philippe Albert.
The muscles.
Ship at St. James's. Patrick, we're in the middle of something here, sir. Sorry. Just right a moment. Everybody around the country, just imagine Philippe Albert sat on the sofa next to him, arm round the shoulder, telling you it's going to be okay.
The big John Carew, though. Big John Carew.
Patrick, John Carew.
Big John Carew. What was the question, Charlie? Sorry.
Would give you the best relationship advice. Big John Carew backing into everything.
Big John Carew, yeah, well, his best mate's with Prince William, and he basically kept him and Kate together. So, hands down, Big John Carew. Bada bing, bada boom. See you later, Matt.
Nice
speaking to you.
I like both.
Look, it's going to take me a second. We'll give you the result after this break. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Ben.
Patrick, thank you, Ben. Listen, I love him, and people have asked me would I take him at Arsenal 100%. But you look at the last two seasons, Real Madrid, and then you look at the last two seasons for PSG, the two Champions Leagues. They were chasing the Champions League for so long. He moves out, they win back to back. It just doesn't look well. On Mbappe, does it?
You could say that he's responsible for that, but in the meantime, when you see what Luis Enrique, the Paris Saint-Germain manager, has changed, the way the team has changed, the unity, everybody is playing for each other, they're fighting for each other, on the pitch. And that's why, in every team they've met, they're beating because of that. They have the quality, but they show, real mentality, unity all together, the togetherness, But Kylian Mbappe, I think I won't be the guy who will say that he's the one who responsible for the mess at Madrid. I think if you have Mbappe in your team, you are in a good position to win something. It depends as well of other players, The ego of players, in Madrid is so huge and devastating, in the dressing room.
Is he the best player on the planet?
Actually?
Yeah.
I won't say that. He's one of them.
Who is?
This season? Or you're saying?
Right now. If you're going to maybe write a list of your top 5 players, who would be number 1 best player in the world right now?
I really love Olise. He's been amazing for Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
And the way he entered into the national team without any...
In a century of World Cups, it's not just the football that's changed. Stadiums have gone from concrete behemoths to technological marvels, and the giant monolithic arenas help to define tournaments. Back in 1930, the world embraced its greatest spectacle for the first time. Uruguay was the host, and in just 90 days, they built a stadium that's still there today. It was a gargantuan effort to pull together the 90,000 capacity Estadio Centenario, one of only 3 venues for that tournament, that would act as a monument to 100 years of Uruguayan independence. If that was the World Cup's birthplace, Mexico City's Estadio Azteca became its cathedral. Some of the World Cup's most iconic moments happened on this grass, including this, of course. Also, both Pelé and Maradona lifted the trophy in the Azteca. A bit of pub quiz ammo for you there. You're welcome. In England, there's no more special place to us than Wembley, the scene of our greatest triumph. And yes, it definitely was a goal. Some incredible stadiums across the world have hosted matches, but you don't have to have a modern-day spaceship of a ground to make it memorable. Take 2006, for example, and here. The memories of what happened at Berlin's Olympiastadion show events on the pitch can elevate a stadium in the minds of fans worldwide. But that doesn't stop us from marvelling at modern triumphs of engineering. Let's jump ahead to Qatar and take a look at this, the Lusail Stadium. This gorgeous golden bowl hosted the frankly unbelievable final in 2022. But that's not where it ends in Qatar. Take Stadium 974, for example. This place was built from shipping containers and can be taken down and built somewhere else. Mad. It's crazy to think that we've gone from building giant concrete bowls to what is basically modern art. To be fair, some concrete bowls, like the Maracanã, are art in its most flawless form. The teams and the players are why we all come, but sometimes the stage they perform on ends up being the main character. And with structures like this, it's hardly a surprise.
Hi, good afternoon. You are listening to the warm-up on talkSPORT World Cup warm-up. Max Rushton and Charlie Baker with you until 1.
Huge Torquay United news just broken, Max.
Oh, what's happened?
We've just signed a new.
They re-signed Sam Collins.
No, just signed a new goalkeeper, and his name is Toby Savin. That's going to be a good. It's going to be a good keeper, isn't it?
Unless that's just how they've chosen him. And they bought Darren Defender as well.
Nominative determinism footballers.
They've got Darren Defender, Mike midfielder, and
John
Andy
forward.
attack. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I'm
Gary
34.
inside left.
I'm 34. I thought Charlie Baker was similar age. Now I don't know if I'm like a 50-year-old or he's like a 34-year-old. I think we very much know that Charlie is like an 8-year-old. I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm like a proper grown-up, Max.
Well,
got a mortgage, a car lease.
Wow.
2 kids.
Holy moly.
I'm like a proper guy.
Yeah, you've got all the things.
Got all the things, like,
all the things.
But don't grow up. It's a trap, as they say.
It is a trap.
Got to keep going.
Time now for Duracell's Extra Mile, where we're going to pick players who we think win the extra mile.
Duracell's Extra Mile on talkSPORT. Different, better, unstoppable.
Woo it again. Yeah.
This text says, Michael said it's 12:02. I thought it was safe to turn on the wireless. Why are you still?
Why are we still here? 10 till 1 for the whole of the World Cup, Saturdays and Sundays.
John Bruin, welcome. Oh, John's dropped off, I think. That's a great shame.
Good music.
He was upset with his song.
Like his song. His songs with the Bee Gees. You Win Again. They famously used to play. I think I've told you this before. They used to play that at the end of every race at Newton Abbot Stock Car on a Wednesday night.
Did they?
At the end of every single race.
Every race, not just
the winner.
End of the meet.
The winner would go round on the roof of the stock car that had just won. Someone else driving, and they'd play Bee Gees. You Win Again.
Every single. Did they play any?
They didn't play We Are the Champions. Like that. They'd only play You Win Again.
Did they play any other music on any other?
They must. I mean, we're talking mid. Like, when's that song out? Probably about 86, 87, is it? Like something like that. So it must have been post that. Before that, I don't know what they played. There
was no music, just total silence.
Maybe The Winner Takes It All, maybe something like that by ABBA. But the moment that came out, someone at Newton Abbot Stock Car went, "That's the one for us," and you'd hear it sort of 6 to 8 times a night.
Abby says, "Can you ask Charlie if he took out a maintenance plan with his car lease? I want to know how much of an adult he is."
I took out the maintenance plan as well, because I wanted stress-free motoring, Abby, is what I did. I think it costs more to do it, but as a mental relaxation, I feel like, no, okay, I want a car that works. I need a car that works.
No, well,
to be able to do my job.
Is this are we doing an advertorial? What's that?
I haven't said the name of it, but if
No. I always think that's interesting when footballers were all stood by a Ford Cortina going, and you see some people on Instagram going, how have they got a car?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could debase myself enough to say, the good people of Honda have helped me with this Civic. I'm so happy. #ad. But I probably
You did have your car stolen, and then you did quite a lot of stuff on that, didn't you?
I did a lot of stuff for Subaru, and they didn't do anything for me.
Wow, you could have gone with that.
I really gave them so much, and I wasn't blaming Subaru.
If Abby in Glasgow is interested in if she's wondering about getting a car lease, then I'm happy to discuss it. Not only on air though. Don't get in touch off air, Abby. I'm not that interested.
Barry says Wolves striker Adam Armstrong is a fantastic arm wrestler. I'm not sure about goal scoring.
No,
we'll take your. I'm trying to think of other,
nominative determinism footballers.
Because Torquay have signed. What's he called?
Toby. I'm assuming you say
it.
They've signed Gary Goals, of course. They've signed. Of course, I'm assuming it said Savin, not Savin, but Toby Savin. Over 100 appearances for Accrington Stanley, Max.
They say, let's go over to our reporter, Max Rushing. Yes, so, he won't be. It's a penalty for Borehamwood, and he won't be saving that.
Yeah, unfortunately, Borehamwood are in a division above us, Max. If you can imagine such a thing.
Well, no, thankfully, I can't. John Bruin joins us.
Good. Hello, John.
Hello, chaps. How are you?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, it's nice to have you on. So this is the Duracell Extra Mile bit where they want us to say things like great battery life and stuff like that. But
they're good batteries, Duracells. If I've got and I'm not just saying that. If I've got a choice of, if I'm at the battery counter,
of course,
I do have an innate trust in me for Duracell. I don't know why that is.
The point of the feature is to players that have gone the extra mile. Can I suggest John Pico Lopez, because we've done a lot of Voisinha, but Pico Lopez, the centre back for Cape Verde, he's been so good.
Yes, yeah. One of many heroes, an adopted Irishman, I understand.
I
was reading that unfortunately, due to logistics, a lot of his family have had to fly home, and there's been a request to see if a friendly airline or travel company wants to do themselves some PR by getting them back over, which would be very nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, go on, someone get the Lopezes over.
The Lopezes.
Yeah, he was on on RTE, on the Irish broadcaster, because obviously they're not there, so they're all just the whole World Cup for them.
Yes,
And they had his manager, I think it's the Shamrock Rovers manager, on. They got him on FaceTime. So he's on FaceTime. They're in the studio, and Pico Lopez is saying, "Can you believe they've called me for doping? Like for the drugs test afterwards." And his manager just went, "To be honest, the way you've passed the ball in the last 3 days, I think you should go." It was a very good line, but so great for Cape Verde.
It is, yes, and they were dancing in the streets of Shamrock last night, weren't they?
Of course.
When they went through. Yeah, I mean, Shamrock are based in Tallaght. I know. Should any Irish listeners
yells at us, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and do you know what? It's a great way to do it. Is drawing your way through the competition, isn't it? I've enjoyed that. It's a sort of. Was it the Swiss method of a few years ago? They always felt like the Swiss. 2006, they drew every game and got through to the last 16.
Well, New Zealand drew every game, didn't they, in 2010, was it? But they didn't go through, but they did release a DVD called Undefeated, which is really great.
Nice, yeah. A good friend of mine emigrated to New Zealand and had to spend a lot of the time telling them that just because you didn't get beaten, it doesn't mean you've won this thing.
So you're saying Scotland made a mistake by winning one, John?
Yeah, I mean...
Was that their biggest mistake of this tournament?
Well, words, Grant Hanley, etc., etc. No, I mean, I was reading just now, 0.1% chance of getting through. Yeah. I think we're down
Seems
to...
slim, doesn't it?
Yeah, and reading some pretty tales of them locked in a boutique hotel awaiting the inevitable. The Steve Clark thing, that they've really taken against him. I mean, it's so unfortunate, isn't it? But it just history repeats itself, and I know I think we're way beyond the as farce as comedy. I'm not even sure which point it's just tragedy, farce, and it
was a difficult group. And actually, we talk about Cape Verde and how well they've done it. Haiti are not. Like, we all just go, oh, Haiti, they can't be good. And look, they've had so many struggles, Haiti, but they're a better football team than I think we probably thought they were. So, you could say, like, if you look at some of the groups, to get Brazil and Morocco that is bad luck. They didn't play well in either game, but you could play badly. There are other groups that are just so much friendlier than that.
I mean, there might be some that could argue that it's some sort of coefficient thing, and if you do go through the European playoffs, then this type of thing might be likely to happen. I know that's not a particularly romantic view. I think what has this World Cup confirmed to us that, just as Graham Taylor told us many years ago, there are no easy games in international football, and this has proved it. Unless you're playing Tunisia, of course,
or Saudi Arabia or Uruguay. They were both so bad yesterday, Saudi Arabia and Uruguay.
Oh, they were, but Uruguay at least left a bit of World Cup legacy there, didn't they? But putting it about a red card. Bielsa making Steve Clark look like... I always think of... I'm trying to make this comparison. Who's the cheeriest person you think of? I always lean on Chris Akabusi, but I feel I need to update that a bit. Is it Joey Essex or so? I mean, that's probably out of date these days, isn't it?
Well, John, yeah. Who's the cheeriest person? 1089.
I think you could. It is. You'd go motivator or Akabusi is sort of like they. It's tricky, isn't it?
It's a tough one, isn't it? He's jolly, always cheery.
I think Akabusi. You can still go with Akabusi. I think. In my experience,
it's a nice
he was up for it.
But it's that I watched it. I watched the interview in Spanish that Bielsa gave. That sort of the get on with it at the start of it was magnificent World Cup moment, wasn't it? You need that. Get on with it.
I like that.
and then of course, but then to be fair to him, he blamed himself completely and said, I've delivered absolutely nothing to this country, and he's a manager with not a great World Cup legacy beyond that Chile team back in 2010 who were playing some very, very nice stuff with Alexis Sanchez. But I remember that team back in Argentina back in 2002. Do you remember this, where they had Batistuta, they had Veron, beaten by England, the penalty.
Yeah.
And I remember the story that came out later, which was one of those stories translated, but it was Veron talking about how after that exit, he was so sorry. He walked the streets of Manchester late at night, sobbing, tears in the rain, which, you know, Morrissey made a career out of. But and we wondered, were there any sightings of Veron just wandering around in these tears? But it was. And so Bielsa was that we had this impossibly talented squad and didn't get that done. And, you know, listen, there will be Leeds fans that think this guy can do no wrong, and you could totally understand that. But he has a slightly odd legacy of just... He's more influential than successful, isn't he? I think that's what we have to say about Bielsa.
Yeah. Christopher Biggins, says Rob. Joe Wicks, says Tom.
Yeah.
Ainsley Harriet, says Sandeep. Alison Hammond.
Hello,
there
Jill.
are some cheery folks about.
Hello, Jill.
Yeah.
Ali McCoy.
I do like...
Pretty cheery, yeah.
Ali McCoy is a good one. Yeah.
Mr. Tumble. I do like just saying in a press conference, I have done nothing for this country. That is a real, it's really, at least Bielsa doesn't wait for other people to say it. Anyway, stay where you are, John. We're going to do another bit. But that was the Duracell's Extra Mile, and we'll do some more with John Brew in just a second.
Duracell's Extra Mile on talkSPORT. Different, better, unstoppable.
What have you made of Stevie Clarke? He's come under the spotlight for how he's handled the journalists. He's come under the spotlight how he's set up Scotland, certainly in the second game as well. And some people have even questioned why he's had his term there extended before this World Cup. What do you make of that?
Well, Stevie Clarke, I played against him, and I know him, and he's not a Jose, he's a very quiet guy, to be honest. And you have to look at what he's achieved as Scotland manager. It's brilliant, absolutely up there with the best. So. People have got to realise in the press, I know the press getting on this, this storm of the fans and the Tartan Army and we party and all that, but the press have got to realise, where our players play, who they play for in the big league and the World League. And we've done well to get there. We could have qualified, and I don't think we will. I think Steve Clarke's been frank and he's been honest. And I think he's right. There's too many permutations against us. Which is going to, again, we're going to be crying losers, if only. I had it in 82. We should have beaten Russia in the final game. We drew 2-2 because we conceded 2 goals against New Zealand, first game, 15th of June. So we knew it was going to be tough. And that was a side where soon as Hansen, Dalglish, Strachan, etc., it was a John Robertson, great side. It's not easy when you get the big league. And, the final stages, and I'm afraid we're just going to be, once again, we're just going to fall short. But it's a shame because the punters are brilliant. But I think the press have got to look at themselves and say, we're a small nation, we maybe have underachieved again. But thinking about it, looking at what Steve Clarke's done, he's not...
Get ready to get that winning feeling with talkSPORT Win. This summer, talkSPORT is bringing you live and official coverage of every game of the FIFA World Cup 2026. And to celebrate, we're giving away £26,000 guaranteed. Go to win.talksport.com to enter now, and you could win 26 grand in your hand, tax-free. Enter now, and you could be the next to get that winning feeling, courtesy of talkSPORT Win. Find out how to enter now at win.talksport.com.
Good afternoon. It is Max and Charlie with you until 1 o'clock. Rusty Lee all day long.
Oh, yeah,
close
Rusty
the game
Lee,
now.
yeah, brilliant.
Great shout.
Brilliant.
David Seaman says Johnny Hopkins in Brum. Rick says,
he's a happy guy, David.
Just had a meat and potato pie, reached 0.75 Akabusis on the international cheerfulness scale. John Bruin is with us. We should do some England-Panama, John. George Ellick's going to join us in a little bit, but you probably can't do enough England on a day that England are playing in a World Cup. Have you been panicking since the Ghana game, John?
No, actually, that game just gave me the warmth and comfort of being English again.
Nostalgia, yeah.
Yeah, just thank God for this. Yes, it just felt. I watched it with a couple of friends, and only one moment did anyone get out of their seat and give it the "Come on, England," and it was the O'Reilly, and Kane miss combined. But it was just watching England, and I felt, all this excitement we've had over the last few years, I found it quite difficult to deal with. I found myself getting emotional, and just this flatlining England performance was just familiar and nice, and a warm comfort blanket. Not that you need one at this time of year, but should panic set in? England have qualified now due to the results last night, so cause for national celebration. And yet again, we find ourselves talking about the player that wasn't there. I think last week we talked about Adam Wharton not being there. This week it's Trent Alexander-Arnold, isn't it? Is the player that we should have taken, and Thomas Tuchel has omitted cruelly, wrongly, or whatever. I think that the idea is, we all know this, that Tuchel did not at all fancy Trent Alexander-Arnold, who didn't have the happiest of times at Real Madrid, played in one. I always like the fact that Thomas Tuchel refers to these as camps. Have you noticed this? He did. They did well for us at camp, which has a sort of American teen comedy sort of thing.
Band camp, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sort of John Hughes film or something. We're all off to camp or something, and I always found that quite nice. Actually, it's quite a nice phrasing. But anyway, so the one camp that Trent turned up at, I don't think he impressed him. So we're going to have to make do and mend in World Cup. But this is where heroes are made, isn't it? Yeah. And after all, we are playing, and in reference to this previous discussion, not every game is as easy as you might like it to be up against Panama. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. I suppose the question is, does Tuchel decide to flex his squad a bit? I suspect.
Well, that was my slight worry, John, is that he didn't seem to know how to use his squad to break down Ghana. He knew they were going to play like that, and yet he didn't seem to know how to break that with what we've got. I'd have brought Ivan Toney on to play up with Harry Kane with 20 minutes to go, because it didn't actually matter if we lost that game. People would have lost their mind, obviously. But it didn't actually matter if we went for it and stretched that game. If you bring Toney on, then while they're trying to mark Kane, then Toney can do what he does, and they can start just whacking balls in the box to him.
Yeah, and we are waiting, aren't we, for the point of taking Ivan Toney, aren't we? We were told.
If he's not there for that, then what's he there for? Is sort of what I feel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it appears, and we don't know this, but the Toney is brought on for one reason, which is for some sort of extra time goal, like that he delivered at the Euros last time out, or a penalty. That appears a fairly specialist strategy for a player who might not get to play that much. It's interesting you'd say that, Charlie, but I do think Thomas Tuchel was probably aware that if England lost that game, he would face the deluge. He's aware of what's going on.
Yeah, but until now, he hasn't seemed bothered about the deluge. Until now, he's sort of gone, I'm going to do what I want to do.
But I don't think he is bothered.
I'm going to pick the players I want.
What makes you think he's any more bothered?
The fact that he sort of didn't quite. I don't feel like he went for it like in that game. It felt like he ran out of ideas a bit.
Also, I know what you mean, but also A draw is fine.
Yeah, I know it's fine. I wasn't worried about it. I was like, "Oh, this is boring." And actually, we dodged a couple. You know, obviously we could have had penalty against us and all sorts. And Kane does get a chance at the end to win that game.
Yeah, these are the. Listen, it wasn't England-Algeria, was it? That's the thing. That's what we need to remind ourselves. It was not.
Wasn't that?
England-Algeria. It was not. There's not. I mean that. I was actually out in South Africa at that time, and the rage I felt, being fairly dislocated, I wasn't at the game, but the rage that I was feeling from back home about that game was just off the scale. It's nothing like that. No. It's just one of those games, and it's England have got. If England are to win this World Cup, and the chances of that feel outside at this point. Yeah. Then it's 8 games. We can accept that. If they 0-0 it against Panama. It's time to push. It's time to push every panic button in sight. Yeah, break the glass. Let's just get it out there
and do that on tomorrow's show. Who do you, having watched everyone? Is it? I mean, France have looked the best. I mean, the US, you don't think are going to win it. I know they lost against Turkey. US have been quite impressive. Okay, their opposition wasn't amazing. Spain have had one decent game. Argentina have looked better than I think people thought they would. What's been your vibe?
I mean, it has to be France, doesn't it? That look. The sum of the parts. I mean,
definitely.
I mean, a lot of hype about Mbappe, but we forget that Dembele is, a Ballon d'Or winner, and the talent just flowing through that squad. They were absolutely excellent last night against Norway. Okay, it was a second Norway team, but they didn't look that bad, really, did they? In that game, the thing is, France could probably play 2 teams and reach. The second team could probably go pretty far in this competition. That's the worry. They're the one team, I suggest, that would be totally happy coming out of the group stage. Spain have got a few problems. I would suggest. Lamine Yamal doesn't quite look at it yet, does he? They'll be glad to come out of that Uruguay contest fairly bruised.
I don't know if in the UK commentary, like the TV commentary, if it's the same, but in the States, John, like, if there is a star, if it's Messi or Ronaldo or Yamal, and even like English commentators who are over here, it's almost like they've been told you can only talk about this person. And if they do anything, you have to go insane. So when Ronaldo scored against Uzbekistan, they were like, oh my God, the best player ever. No one said it's Uzbekistan. Like, you weren't allowed to say that. People were like, this is great for football that he's done this. Every football fan will be so excited. You're like, I don't know if that's a specific American way. They like to, and we all do a bit, but like to personalize a sport through one individual, or maybe that's a modern thing. I don't know what it's like over there.
Well, this is the country that gave the world Lee Dixon, of course. So Lee is never going to get too excited about anything, and all power to Lee for that, I should say, on ITV. I mean, listen, obviously, when a player like Messi turns it on like that, and Messi's doing it at this age, that is something to get terribly excited about. The Ronaldo thing against Uzbekistan, I sort of share what I think are your misgivings about that, Max. Okay, fine.
Good finishes. His record's amazing, but I don't think he's going to help them against a good team.
No, I think he should do a Kane Williamson or something and just step away now and just say, right, I've done my bit.
Seems likely. Seems like the guy who would do that.
Yeah, exactly. And just say, so long, thanks for all the fish, see you later. But, but the thing is...
I think he'll limp off in tears about 20 minutes into a game, and that'll be it. He'll go, okay, on purpose, limp off. Limping off in tears so he gets the round of applause.
But then, Charlie, what he does, though, is he starts to manage the team, doesn't he? Remember this in Euro 2016?
Well, he probably is anyway.
Yes, I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's what's right.
Hey, John, we've run out of time to chat, but it's
I
been
always
really
like
nice.
talking to you, John. It's really nice.
I'd like talking to you too as well. All the best.
Cheers, John Bruin there. Let's go back to Trent Bridge. Another wicket, Sam Ello.
England 290 for 6. It's the captain, Ben Stokes, in his return, who goes for 15. It's a really good delivery from Zach Folks going around the wicket, angling the ball back into the left-handed batsman. And it comes back in a lot to Ben Stokes and clean bowls him. And Ben Stokes' innings has to go for 15. Harry Brooks looking good touch on 40 of just 45 balls. It's going to be Gus Atkinson joining him at the crease now. Half an hour to go until lunch. England 290 for 6, trailing New Zealand by 148 runs.
Thanks, Sam. We'll do some more England with George Elek from the excellent England pod in just a second.
Bentley has been terrified all week about the Ghanaian witch doctor he slagged off.
No, he did not.
Supposedly putting a curse on Harry Kane and England's number 9, subsequently missing a sitter. Now, thankfully, the witch doctor, of course, lifted the curse.
It's funny.
Right, Now, there was a report in The Sun that you, Emmanuel, were cursed by a witch doctor.
It's Senegal.
Ignored it
2002.
And got injured.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, before the World Cup in 2002, no, after the World Cup, actually, because we went out very quickly, during the World Cup in Asia. And when I came back, I was in holidays in south of France, and I had a friend, he was selling watches, on the beach, and he was expecting me. He was waiting for me for days. And then when he saw me, he came to me straight away and he said, I'm so happy to see you because I have something important to tell you. And I said, well, what is it? And he said, you have to be very careful because you have, how can I say that?
Curse?
A curse, yeah, on you. And you have to follow exactly what I'm going to tell you. And I said, what is it? He said, you have to go in Africa and you have to buy a cow and you have to kill it. And you have to follow.
Bit detailed and extreme, that one.
Yeah, but I said, listen, I understand and I really appreciate that. But this is your traditions and I'm not into it. So I won't do it. And 6 months later, I had to stop. But is it coincidental link? I won't say that,
Oh, so what happened to you? You got injured?
Yeah. And
they
cut my leg in 2 parts, so I had to stop playing football.
Did you get injured kicking a cow?
No.
Hold on. What part you got injured? Was it the calf?
No, that's my knee, the right knee, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't believe in any of that?
No, yes, I believe in it.
Are you amazed that Benny slagged him off?
No, I believe in numbers. I believe in sign, around. I think you have to be...
okay.
Is it superstitions? I have no idea, but...
Are you superstitious?
No, yes, I am.
Iconic. There's no other word. An 18-karat gold trophy that owns the world, and it waits. It waits for 4 years. It's 1971, and FIFA need a new trophy to replace the Jules Rimet, so they launch a worldwide design competition. And in his studio in Milan, 50-year-old sculptor Silvio Gazzaniga immediately gets to work. But instead of sending FIFA a picture, he goes further and makes a prototype they can hold. It works. FIFA choose his design over 52 others, and perhaps the most beautiful piece of silverware or goldenware enters the beautiful game. Let's let the artist himself describe it. Gazzaniga said the idea was to create something symbolising exertion, dynamism, and the jubilation of an athlete in the moment of victory, with all the joy that contains. The malachite rings in the base fitted the sculpture well because it's green like a football field, and it's also a precious stone. The first captain to lift the trophy was Franz Beckenbauer in 1974, and of course, it's only the greatest who get their hands on it. Zoff, Matthias paved the way for the modern-day heroes who dreamt of lifting Gazzaniga's masterpiece. But there was something about this man holding it that seemed to deliver everything the sculptor had imagined. Were I to ever redo it, the artist once said, I wouldn't change a thing.
hopefully everyone fastens their seatbelts because it was quite a ride.
I'm annoyed at Thomas Tuchel for getting me excited, but for me coming on there and saying, we're going to win the World Cup. Yeah, I think we can win the World Cup.
England 0, Ghana 0.
Good result against Panama, and the tournament starts then, as far as I'm concerned.
The beautiful thing of the World Cup is that you get to play against styles of play that you don't normally get to play against, and it'll stand us in good stead going into the rest of the tournament for sure.
They're going to defend deep and make it very difficult for them, I would think, if I was the Panama team and seen what Ghana had done to England.
It doesn't change too much for us in the group stage, so we just look forward to the next one to try and get to 7 points.
Good afternoon, Max and Charlie here till 1. Charlie in London, Max, I'm in LA. George Elek from the England Pod is on the East Coast.
Oh,
that's
nice.
It's a more reasonable time of day for you. Hey, George.
Hello, George.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, really good.
Yeah,
thanks,
really good. How much panicking have you done since the Ghana game? You're quite a reasonable...
Professional panic.
You're a reasonable person, George. So you're probably not panicking. Or did you panic a little bit?
No, not loads. I was mainly just kind of sad and disappointed that we had such a kind of thrilling high in Dallas, and then Boston was just a kind of typical 0-0 game that England seemed to have quite a lot in our second group games. So it was frustrating, but again, like it isn't really going to matter. Teams who win the World Cup generally don't win every game in order to get there. I think only Brazil have managed that before. So yeah, it wasn't great, but I think probably what could be quite handy, and what Thomas Tuchel alluded to in the press conference that we went to yesterday, is that playing that kind of game at this stage of a tournament might not be the worst thing. It means that he will learn quite a lot about what to do next time a team sets up with 11 men behind the ball, would have seen what didn't work and what did work. So yeah, if it happens again today for the Panama game, then we should be better set to deal with it.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. He'll have learnt more from that than he will have done from beating them 3-0, you know. But also, not a bad side. You know, you look at other other results from around the last week. You know, you look at Ecuador beating Germany, and it's a Carlos Queiroz side, and he's an expert at that, and he's got the players to do that. Some of them, one of them, who definitely shouldn't be there, but you know, he's got them to do that, so he can get that going, play that way.
Yeah, I mean, in my mind, a lot's been made of the you know, the issues creating chances, and you know, we obviously created enough to win the game because Harry Kane missed an absolute sitter late on after O'Reilly hit the bar. I'm a bit more concerned about how vulnerable we look on the break. Ghana didn't really try and attack too much, but every time they did get in behind, it was panic stations, and I think we can all agree that England were fairly lucky not to give away a penalty. So that is a worry to me, especially when you consider how good the best teams in the world are at playing in transition. You know, you look at France, for example, like what would they do to us at the moment? So there are things to work on. With Panama, you know, their manager, Christensen, is a very different type of manager in terms of his philosophies and the way he sets teams up than Carlos Queiroz. They come into this game out, so, you know, there's nothing they can do in order to frustrate England to try and get through. Hopefully, as we saw with Haiti in the way that they set up against Morocco in a game where they were already out, it might mean that they step out on the front foot and try and enjoy themselves in the last game of the tournament. But yeah, we'll have to see how we go.
I can't remember when they were sort of late on those, that, you know, when Pickford came out and then the concert challenge. And was that when we'd changed our midfield a bit? You know, in terms of, you know, part of panicking at the back is not just the back four, but it's who's in front of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we made the changes then. I mean, I personally thought the Pickford one may not have been a foul. I think he kind of ran out.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Tried to evade, tried to kind of miss the ball, and then I think it was Adu. He tried to kick the ball and completely missed and kicked Pickford. So that was a kind of a bit of a strange one. But yeah, I mean, it was the same against Croatia. That's the other issue. Like, we didn't look great at the back against Croatia, especially in the first half. We have limited the opposition to very few shots. But I think today's just a case. I mean, obviously the injury issues today are the kind of the bone of contention for a lot of people with the manager, and it's going to be interesting to see what kind of team we put out, given there seems to be a few doubts.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think they'll do?
Well, it seems like James is the one that's definitely out. Interesting choice of words from Tuchel yesterday, saying, "Who could have seen this coming?" I think basically the whole of England put their hand up at that moment. Felt like it was maybe just bait. I think just to frustrate people and annoy people. So I'm sure Jed Spence will come in at right back. Obviously, Joel Quansah can play there, and it might be quite Thomas Tuchel to put the player in there that basically no one thinks should be in the squad. Because, you know, he clearly rates him as a fullback. I think he'll probably be fine if he does play there. O'Reilly at left back, but there are a couple of other kind of, Declan Rice could barely move at the end of the Ghana game. Elliot Anderson, it was reported yesterday that he's got a fitness concern. Is Bukayo Saka ready to start? Why did Marcus Rashford only play the last 5 minutes against Ghana? So there are a few players where it's kind of up in the air, and it wouldn't be a huge surprise if the team comes out an hour or so before kickoff and we were looking at it thinking, what is this?
I suppose I mentioned this already, but it is trying to play a low block and beat a low block is hard and annoying and boring, right? It's hard to do.
Yeah.
And, you might need to get something from a set piece, and once you've got one, it does change the game. But if England are going to go a long way and win the World Cup, right, which I don't think they will because history tells me they don't, but they are one of the teams that might.
But they could.
They could. Once you get to the quarterfinal, and you're not playing team, you are so unlikely once you get to the last 16 to be playing a team that is going to play a low block, right? They're going to attack you.
Yeah, unless I guess it's late in the game and they're defending a lead, where it becomes more likely. But yeah, that's right. It's if Thomas Tuchel picked a squad of 26 players to play against Carlos Queiroz's Ghana, it would probably be quite different to the squad he picks in order to win the World Cup. It obviously wasn't ideal that in Noni Madueke you got a player who's been brought in to basically attack space and to play high and wide and try and run in behind consistently. And playing Madueke, who I actually thought did okay in the game, but playing him against a low block kind of nullifies quite a lot of his threat, and it wasn't a huge surprise.
It showed his limitations, didn't it? That's the thing.
Exactly.
It gave him the space, but showed what he can't do.
Well, we saw Dembele for France yesterday take up pretty similar positions as Madueke did, cut inside on his left foot and score a hat-trick in 25 minutes.
Just do that.
Madueke had a couple of opportunities.
Scored the same goal 3 times. That's what I like.
Yeah, and Madueke had that shot twice, and once he blazed it over the bar, and the second time he kind of scuffed it. So, but he will be, I think, a huge threat for us and a great player to bring off the bench against better teams, because he is very good at holding his position out wide, and he will be someone that Harry Kane can look for when he drops in and plays those big switch balls. So it was also interesting to me that Kane didn't really drop deep against Ghana. Like, even though he was against a low block, he is very used to playing against a low block. He plays for Bayern Munich, who play against teams who set off them consistently, and yet clearly by design, I think he only touched the ball 7 times in the first half an hour or so. And normally that stat I kind of hate, because it's not a striker's job normally to get on the ball loads, and it's used to kind of portray a lack of. The strikers aren't playing very well. In Kane's case, though, he gets on the ball way more because he loves kind of dropping in and getting on the ball. But we didn't really see it, which is a bit of a surprise.
You've been sort of in New York and Boston, Dallas. Have you sensed in Los Angeles, like, it's getting there, the sort of World Cup? I mean, because LA is so massive, like, it's just sort of ridiculous, sprawling town. But before the US game, you saw lots of US shirts. I just wonder on that, is there World Cup fever? It's always an odd question. Like, there isn't World Cup fever in this small hotel room that I'm in at 4:45 in the morning. But like, have you found that you've been out and about? Have you sensed a growing sort of excitement about this tournament?
Yeah, it feels. I was in Brazil and I was in Russia, and in both of those cases, it felt like the World Cup was just everywhere, and like wherever you went, it was basically like you're in a kind of a football theme park country. Whereas here, it feels like you've got to like go and find the World Cup, but when you find it, it's there. Like when we actually go into the bars and whatever else, it's always on everywhere. There are lots of people watching every game. The atmosphere is pretty good, but I equally think that you could easily be an American resident right now, living in one of these cities and not care about football and barely know it's even going on. It was very, very different. Dallas was euphoric, joyous, in the sunshine, proper kind of pent-up energy for the first England game. Whereas Boston kind of mirrored the actual way the game went, where it was rainy, it was far less joyous, and then it felt a bit flat at the game. So hopefully today, obviously New York has been very... there's been a lot of fans from different countries there. A lot of England fans going to the darts the last couple of days and things. So hopefully, but I think the weather's going to be quite bad again today, which we thought would suit England. But maybe 25 degrees and drizzle isn't great. We need to play in air-conditioned stadiums like in Dallas.
And obviously in Boston, everyone just went, the Scots were great. You're like, we can't compete with that. Anyway, George,
great job, George. Thank you.
We tried to organise a meet-up, and the Irish pub we chose was closed for no reason. I think they were done after the Scots.
Yeah, probably just tired. Thanks so much. Keep doing the podcast,
guys.
Stuff.
Brilliant, George. Thank you.
Thank you.
George Ellick, Ali Maxwell, Dave Walker. Worth a listen. And commentary in England, Panama tonight, 10 o'clock on talkSPORT. It's Max and Charlie here for another bit, and we'll do time difference, because there's always time for time difference.
Manchester City have agreed a £116 million deal to sign Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest. The fee, as you might have guessed, is the most ever paid for a British player and represents a new record for Manchester City. He's 23, Anderson, and has now been given permission to undertake a medical right here in New York today, with the deal subject to the finalising of personal terms. You would think that will get done quick style. Alex, Elliot Anderson, this is a remarkable rise, isn't it?
Certainly is, when you think that he went from Newcastle to Forest for a relatively modest sum. I know Eddie Howe at the time didn't particularly want to cash in, but obviously they had issues with PSR.
Yep.
It's interesting, the figures. City side are saying 116 million. Forest side are saying actually it's nearer to 130 million. Either way, it's a record, as you say, for a British player, potentially a Premier League record fee, eclipsing what Liverpool paid for Alexander Isak this time last year. I was speaking to a couple of ex-players at the darts last night, and we were pondering, if Elliot Anderson is really a £130 million player, how much would someone like Paul Scholes be worth in the current market? I think he's a terrific player, Elliot Anderson. I'm not sure he's a £130 million player.
Well, sure. He joined Forest, as Alex says, from Newcastle in a £35 million deal in 2023. So, not so long after that, we've now arrived at 116 million.
Well, brilliant business for Forest. If I'm going to my chairman and I'm going to buy him, let's say, I've got my Manchester City head on, and the figure's up near 130 million, I would be very uncomfortable.
Get ready to get that winning feeling with talkSPORT Win. This summer, talkSPORT is bringing you live and official coverage of every game of the FIFA World Cup 2026. And to celebrate, we're giving away £26,000 guaranteed. Go to win.talksport.com to enter now, and you could win 26 grand in your hand, tax-free. Enter now, and you could be the next to get that winning feeling, courtesy of talkSPORT Win. Find out how to enter now at win.talksport.com.
Let's go live to the seat next to Charlie, for there's always time for time difference. And here's your host, Reese the Lock.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing?
Don't knock the lock.
Don't knock the lock. Let's get on with it. Come on.
Let's get on with it. We are looking back at some goals from across the talkSPORT network this week. Okay. And joining us doing the most important job is Jeff Peters.
Hi, Jeff.
Very good afternoon to everybody. Max one time difference last week, but Charlie leads 11-9 this year.
Oh. Wow, okay. Well done, Charlie.
Thanks so much. It's nice to speak to you, Jeff.
Yeah, it's nice to
chat. Hi, Charlie.
Right, we'll go to goal number one.
No, hi, Max. That's all right. I see where his bread is buttered.
Let's go. First goal.
Let's go.
Goal number one is from Wednesday, as Scotland were beaten 3-0 by Brazil. But can you tell me what minute Mateus Cunha rounded off the scoring for Brazil, Max?
55.
Charlie?
62.
Let's hear how it sounded.
Worse and worse for Scotland.
It was the 60th minute.
Ooh. Oh, well done, Charlie.
So Max is 5 minutes out, Charlie is 2 minutes out. The score is Max 5, Charlie 2.
We'll go to goal two. We'll start with you this time, Charlie. This goal is from Thursday's live talkSPORT commentary of Ecuador 2, Germany 1. But can you tell me what minute Gonzalo Plata scored the winning goal for Ecuador?
81.
Max?
Yeah, I think it was 78.
Let's hear how it sounded.
Swung into a congested 6-yard box. Haddington in. Flick on at the near post and turned in by Plata.
It was very, very close there. 77.
Ooh, well done, Max. Very good.
Thanks, mate. Thank you, Charlie.
So Max is 1 out onto 6. Charlie is 4 out onto 6. So the score is 6-all.
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 Goal number 3 from Friday as Turkey.
Slow down, Reese. We've got 6 minutes for this.
We've got plenty of time for time difference.
Build it up.
Absolutely loads of time.
You got things you want to get off your chest, Reese, haven't you?
Not here. No.
Okay.
Friday, Turkey 3, USA 2. Can you tell me what minute Austin Trusty opened the scoring in this 5-goal thriller?
With his trusty left foot. Trusty with his trusty left foot.
Tried and trusty up front.
Charlie?
Big man, little man.
Sorry, what did Max say?
6 minutes.
6 minute. 8th minute.
Let's hear how it sounded.
Brought down and driven in by Austin Trusty.
The 3rd minute.
So Max, three minutes out, onto 9. Charlie, 5 minutes out with his guess, onto 11. So Max leads by 2 with 2 to go.
I think just for the YouTube viewers, I think all you're getting is a big thing that says talkSPORT with their football. But we are here.
We are here. Hello. Good afternoon.
I don't know why that's the case. But anyway, what's the score? Who won that one? Me? What's the score?
It's Max 9, Charlie 11. Sorry, the sound just dropped for a second.
That's all right.
Oh, that's okay. Just apart from the
Leicester
vision
signed
and the
anyone,
sound,
Jeff?
Apart from the vision and the sound, we've got everything here.
Leicester signed anyone, Jeff?
No, we've got loads of time to fill. Paul Tonkinson, I worked with him yesterday.
Oh, he's funny.
You know, did a Q&A for a mental health charity in Leicester. What a lovely guy. Very funny as well. And a brilliant runner. And his book looks amazing.
Yeah, he did the Marathon des Sables, didn't he?
Yeah, 250 kilometres in a week.
Yeah, in the desert.
Yeah.
Dan says, not tuned in for a few weeks. Great to see Jeff in the Nerve Centre on time. Maybe you can see. I can't see him, but maybe you can. Michael says, is it safe to turn on after? Michael says, is it safe to turn on after 1? It might, but you've stuck with this for 3 hours, so you might as well carry on. Yeah. Come on, Reece, get on with it. We don't have time for this.
Run out of time.
I know, all this dawdling. From Friday, Tunisia 1, Netherlands 3. But can you tell me what minute the new Spurs man John Paul Van Hecke rounded off the scoring for Holland? That's for you, Charlie.
Oof, no. The 79th minute.
Max?
Ooh. Thing is, I think it was the 56th minute.
Oh, dear.
But I don't know. I don't know why I've got 56 in my mind. Do I just go for it? But what if I'm wrong? That's a big swing, isn't it? It's a big swing. But sometimes, and this is a lesson for lesson for all the listeners. Sometimes you have to live a little, and right now, I'm going to live a little. 56 minutes.
Let's hear how it sounded.
Made things very interesting, but now the Dutch restore their 2-goal lead.
It was the 62nd minute.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Still quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, Max 6 minutes out, onto 15. Charlie 17 minutes out, onto 28.
Ouch.
So 13 is the gap, and Max is in the lead, so he guesses first.
Okay, here we go. I'm excited.
So we start with you, Max. A game that happened literally today. Uruguay 0, Spain 1. But can you tell me what minute Alex Bayana's goal sent Uruguay home, Max?
We didn't really talk about Muslera. The Paul. Do you know, we did. I was watching the US coverage had Rob Green as keeper, summariser, and I think I really like Rob Green. He's a really good summariser. And so Muslera sort of let one through his hands, and at no point did Rob Green reference that he had lived experience of doing this.
No.
And we were speculating, had he just forgotten? Had he forgotten? And then they hooked Muslera at half time. You're like, that is rough. 40. Mind you, he did make a mistake in every game. But that's tough. I don't know. As someone who's never made a mistake, I don't know what that's like.
I wonder what that feels like.
Can you imagine?
Sorry.
How dare you, Jeff? What was the question? When did Bayana score?
When did Bayana score Spain's goal that knocked Uruguay out of this year's World Cup?
It was in the... I watched this game. It was not good. '31st minute.
Charlie?
The 45th minute.
Let's hear how it sounded.
Oh, was it there?
Oh, Muslera's fumbled it. A terrible mistake by the veteran goalkeeper to gift Alex Baena the lead for Spain.
It was the 42nd minute.
Oh, well played, Max. Very
you
good.
won it. Did you win it?
No. I'm 3 over.
So Charlie finishes on 31. Max, you were 11 minutes out on that guess. You finished on 26, so you win by 5. It's back-to-back wins for you, Max.
Well done, Max.
Yes. And it's almost even Stevens this year in time difference. It's Max 10, Charlie 11.
Ooh.
Hey, thank you, Jeff. Thanks,
Thank
pal.
you, Jeff.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, Reece.
Cheers, Reece.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thanks, Max. See you tomorrow. Come on, England. That's all I'll say.
Do you know what I wanted to do? I just wanted to send my love to Trevor Nelson.
Oh, yes.
Who is
a huge talkSPORT listener. So I don't know if he's listening right now, but he has stepped down from his Radio 2 stuff, some health issues, and I just wanted to send him, and I think on behalf of you and everyone here, because he's such a brilliant broadcaster.
Lovely
man. Absolutely wonderful, perfect voice for radio, and, contributed almost as much to the music scene as me, I would say, in
many ways.
In many ways, but yeah, and my former neighbour, of course. But yeah, sending all our love to Trevor Nelson, wishing him the best of luck with everything and a speedy recovery, and maybe back on the radio soon, because you are a great man. Thank you, Charlie. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Max. See you tomorrow.
No worries, pal. And it's talkSPORT Live Commentary of England, Panama tonight from 10.
When you look at Scotland over the 3 games, David, what is your overall assessment and takeaway? I mean, most of us looked at it and felt that Morocco and Brazil would be a reach to get anything from, and that the outcome of the Haitian game would be important and that goals needed to be scored. Criticism is being made of Steve Clarke. I'm not asking you to jump on the bandwagon, but the manner in which Scotland have played, the lack of bravery, the fact that they've been very negative in lots of people's minds, and Steve is a defensive coach. When you hear all those things, what's your assessment of these 3 games and the opportunities that Scotland have either taken or missed?
Yeah. Well, we spoke the other day. I think the biggest word what you're missing here, Simon, is quality. I don't think Scotland have the quality at the moment available to them to compete. I'm not saying that on the odd day that you wouldn't beat one of these teams and get good results, which we did against Denmark, for example, when we get through those games. But I just feel that generally Scotland have been short of that level. We talked about it a few days ago when we were talking about the Haiti game and only winning 1-0. We all felt it was a really good result. Not a really good result, but a good result because we had got 3 points. But you were right in what you were saying. We probably needed to score 3 or 4 goals. But I don't think MD, who's played Haiti yet, or certainly Morocco, have found it that easy. And I don't think they've been as easy a game as what maybe everybody hoped it might have been. So yeah, it might have cost us not scoring 2 or 3 goals in that one game. But I think us getting a victory in the opening game of the